You're on camera. Say something.
Last night and night before, there was 3 women walking down the street that way. I saw them. I said, hey, you 3 women, why are y'all walking down the street that way? There's nothing down there. And they flew away. I said, oh, them was some birds.
I don't know where you can go do this. You only need to ask.
I'm Captain Lou Albano talking to you about drugs, kids. I'm Captain Lou Albano talking to you about drugs. Kids, don't be afraid to say no. Anyone that asks you to use drugs is not your friend. Drugs can and will kill. Remember, don't be afraid to turn to your priest, your rabbi, your minister, your moms, your dads, your teachers, because drugs can kill. And if you do drugs, you go to hell before you die.
Pepsi Man! Pepsi Man! Pepsi Man! Go, go, RX! Pepsi Man! Pepsi Man! Go, go, RX! Pepsi Man! Pepsi, Pepsi! Pepsi Man! RX! Pepsi!
And kneel and be amazed at the touch of the black man. Ooh. I bring
They're coming for the future, saying it's for the kid. But every word you whisper goes on a record list. Screens are watching faces, names behind the glass. They're saying it's protection, but freedom's fading fast. And I won't be the one to sit and lie while they barcode every blink of my eye. Call it safety, but it smells like control. You can't save a soul by killing the soul.
You're probably wondering how I got here. Well, it all started with me saying, I gotta know, is it real? Is Planet Gatorade really real? Is it really, really real? So I took a Gatorade rocket out into the... Yeah, no, there's no Gatorade pun there. I literally traveled through space inside of a Gatorade rocket, and it was going great until we started going way too fast, and, you know... With Gatorade, speed control is a little difficult, and so off we went, and I crash-landed. You know, I crash-landed. I mean, come on, like, look, I obviously, like, you know, it's in one piece, nobody died. Nobody died. And that's how I met Coolia Blue. So there I was on Earth, like, I gotta find Planet Gatorade, because I know there's a beautiful woman there that's waiting for me to steal her heart. And she was like, oh, Cider, you're so brave coming all the way across the galaxy to be my boyfriend. And I was like, yeah, that's exactly why I'm here. And it worked. Son of a bitch, it worked. copyright defensible Megazord. Man, that's the last time I marinate chicken in Gatorade.
Yeah. It's me, Jor-El the Dawn, baby. From the house of L to the house of hoes, got a little mission for you, son. Listen close. Yo, Cal, you my legacy, my flesh, my clone. Now go to Earth and make that planet your home. But don't just save them, breed them, feel me? Flying smooth, make them cry, oh really? You got strength of 10 men, game like Zeus. Cape in the wind in the tight blue suit. Ain't no villain that could block your aim, so why not drop seeds and lock the game? Son, this biology ain't no fluke. You a walking god, now execute. Make super babies, fill the charts. I ain't die for you to chase no heart. Smash them all, Cal, plant that name. From farm girls to queens, it's all the same. Be the daddy of earth, the prime L spawn. Spread house of L till the break of dawn. Breed them up, Cal, breed them fast. Legacy's fire, gotta make it last. Don't fight fate, be the stud I plan. I'm watching from stars with the master hand. Lex got tech, Bruce got cash, but you got genes that'll outlive Flash. You ain't here just to punch and fly, you here to make them babies cry. He my guy. Tell Lois Lane she the first in line, but don't act shy when it's overtime. I built the fortress, now make it a crib for 20 little supers in a rocket ship fridge. You ain't just Cal, you the seed of fate. Gotta repopulate, dominate, create. Go on, my son, be the myth, the man. Smash them respectfully, that's the plan. Smash them all, Cal, plant that name. From farm girls to queens, it's all the same. Be the daddy of earth, the prime L spawn. Spread house of L till the break of dawn. Breed them up, Cal, breed them fast. Legacy's fire, gotta make it last. Don't fight fate, be the stud I plan. I'm watching from stars with the master hand. House of L, baby. From Krypton's ashes to Earth's backseat. Do it for your daddy. In the multiverse, you heard?
Jason, my love, return to me. Urvakita is under attack. We need the Power Rangers.
We need Thunderzord power! Now!
Go, go, Power Rangers!
It's a creature feature. It's a creature feature on the dance floor tonight. Better move your body, 'cause the shadows bite. Moonlight creeping, fog so thick, skeletons grinding to a beat so sick, pumpkins glowing, DJ spell, monsters in the club and they dance to it. Don't fight the fright, just let it swing. Shake that ghostly, ghastly thing. The night is dark, but the beat's alive. Get your bones rattling to the creeping jive. Spooky, scary things. Hey, spooky, scary things. Whoa, they're crawling from the grave, but they just wanna rave. Spooky, scary things. Spooky, scary things. Shake.
Spooky, scary things on a spooky, scary Monday. That's right, the spooky, scary season came and bit me pretty hard early. I've already got my pumpkin. How about you? I'll be dressing up next week. Don't worry, you'll be seeing IRL Cider. I don't guarantee that the lovely Miss Nerdigans will be dressing up, but she is here right now.
Hi, Bounding audience. I do have a couple of old cosplays from when I went to Crunchyroll Expo I could wear, theoretically.
So there
I
you
might.
go. We might be
Maybe.
having a costume party here next week and maybe the rest of the month. Who knows? We'll find out.
Maybe
But for
Kit-
next,
Maybe I'll
What's
have
that?
Kitty dress up too. Maybe
Aha.
he'll be an adorable little pirate kitty or something. We'll see.
I see.
But anyway,
Egg leg putty tat. But for now, though, we do have some fast food news. Okay, fast food news where we're getting people in here still. Good evening, welcome. Make sure you vote in the poll. Let everybody know if you're scary or spooky. It's very important. These are not pronouns. Don't worry. But they can be, I guess, if you want them to be your pronouns. It's kind of the
hey,
rule of
anything could be a
pronouns.
pronoun at this point.
Yeah, right. Exactly. Buck et, you know? Anyway, McDonald's has decided to buck the trend and go ahead and really dive into these Japanese collaborations that have been working so well for their Japanese counterparts. And in fact, they decided there was going to be a collaboration between Silent Hill and McDonald's.
And the timing
Now-
is perfect because Silent Hill F is out, and
Yes.
Konami released the numbers. They said that over 1 million copies have been sold. It's not like some of the other BS we've seen from like Ubisoft, where there's like over 1 million players concurrent. Now, this is 1 million copies, actual copies of the game have been sold.
Well, and what I want to point out, though, is Silent Hill F for fuck, that was scary. That's
You've
Now we
seen the
know.
disclaimer for it, right?
Yeah.
Oh my god, that disclaimer!
Yeah.
Like as soon as I read that, I'm like, this means that this is obviously peak horror. If there has to be that kind of disclaimer.
Yep. Well, and again, I mean, it's around themes that are alarming for Tumblrettes. So I guess they're just trying to make sure that they don't, you know, get any triggly puffs trying to blow themselves up in the lobby way, you know. But
Yeah.
speaking of tragedies, the problem with this collaboration is that, you know, I can only think of like the nurse, the Silent Hill nurses being the McDonald's burger wenches, you know. So
There's
it just
also
kind
the
of freaks me
pyramids,
out.
too. There's also
Yeah,
the
right, it's-
pyramids too.
Is Pyramid Head the fry cook? You know,
Yeah, that'd be awesome. Actually,
that'd
You
be a
have the
great
nurse at the
commercial.
register, and then you have the pyramid heads like behind the grill, or like have him do the drive-through and like freak people out. That would be pretty hilarious.
Oh yeah, you could do one of those viral videos or just have random Silent Hill characters working the window at McDonald's.
That'd be funny.
Yeah, if it, until you get that one person who is a unconsensual hugs victim, and they have an episode because of what trying Pyramid Head gets up to. But anyway,
Yeah.
McDonald's and their famous collaboration still stumbling through the magic of Japanese cross-corporate collaborations, trying to find their way. This is a good step, though. It's a good time. I'm glad it wasn't one of those Jason and Freddy Krueger ones. This is a good one. It feels more, I don't know, mid-century.
Yeah. And also, I mean, the timing is perfect because of Silent Hill F. So
Yep. Well, and also, if you're going to be milling around McDonald's, dead or alive, there is the Monopoly game returning again. So, for
I
as little
remember
as
you. Yeah, I remember playing. Did you ever play the Monopoly game when it was out
Well, you
for
couldn't.
McDonald's?
You couldn't avoid it. They kind of forced you to play it.
Yeah, because they put it like on all their. I think it was large and supersize. They had it on.
Well, up here it was on everything. Anything they
yeah.
could stick those tickets on, they stuck them on.
Yeah, it was on fries. It was on. I think it was even on the burgers at one point, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, absolutely. Yep, right on the lid. Yep. And so here we have it. There's urgent news. Monopoly is coming back to McDonald's, kind of like the McRib. It's sort of like a blue moon. It returns. The witches cast spells, that sort of thing. Average McDonald's things. It's you got to peel to win, as usual, as we were just talking about. And check it out. There's 10.6 somethings. Could be $1 billion, could be $1 million, could be $10.06 in order to get in because the meals are so expensive now. Don't know. But there you go. So if McDonald's is your thing, you want to win your money through fast food prices, build your fortune through fast food prices. Now that's a good Netflix story.
Well, the sodas are like $1, so you could get a large soda and get your ticket that way for $1. At least I hope they're still.
Remember the Netflix show Making a Murderer, right?
Yes.
And they could just title it Making a Diabetic. The story of how this fat guy made his fortune through fast food prizes. But speaking of prizes, we have one of those thanks I didn't ask for this prizes from Mountain Dew. Mountain Dew is launching a new flavor called Dirty Mountain Dew Cream Soda.
Sounds nasty.
So if you like lime, it might not be some people's things, like Miss Nerdigans isn't a huge fan of it. But if you like lime, it's kind of like a key lime cream pie. So if you're into that, I guess it'll taste neat. I can't have it. I'll die. But you guys can knock yourselves out with this. The worst part is they made it such a sickly green. It's like sickly orange. It just kind of, it's like mud puddle orange. And I don't know if I want to put like that Indian street water into me, what that looks like. But we do have some folks in the chat this evening joining us for the Bounding into Halloween first episode here. A little early. We want to make sure we maximized our Halloween spirit here. And so we have Hibiki Gamer Vlogs asking, hey, Cider, they are also making a new Halloween Michael Myers game, but they might make a new Hellraiser game, excuse me. But I'm not a fan because it's too gruesome. Gruesome? I'm going to assume it's gruesome, not the guy from CSI. So it could be to him as well. He was in the Bugs, and that was kind of weird. But yeah, the Michael Myers thing, it's one of those things that's been like a hot topic about all this. And of course, I played that Power Rangers thing. We'll get into that later. But it's one of those hot topic things that people can't make up their mind over. Do I want the nostalgia or do I not want the nostalgia? I want this nostalgia, not this nostalgia. And unfortunately, those two nostalgias touch. So,
well, if it's anything like the RoboCop game, then it's probably going to be really good.
I don't know how it could be. Michael Myers is just a killing machine. He doesn't really have an agenda, unless he senses teenagers having premarital sex. I guess. Or is that Jason? It's one of the two of them that have like the premarital sex senses. Like Spidey has the Spidey sense. They're like, there's children having premarital sex. They're just kind of magnetically drawn to that. It's sort of like the I think it was a parody. I think that was actually in one of the Wayans brothers scary movie things, is like, how do you summon a serial killer? And one of the kids said, we have premarital sex.
Oh my God.
That'll summon the serial killer. Hibiki Gamer says, Cider, the evil far left Democrats are trying to shut down government to give money to legal immigrants or Muslim. This could get Trump needs to remove the Democrats out of the government. I don't really know how that's possible without the voters. That although there's a lot of peaked emotions, we do need to remember that we are a country of laws, not men, and men are not too consistent. We are passionate, we get uppity, and thank God we have the law to remind us don't do that.
Well, kind of like what Trump's doing with you saw the tariff announcement where he was saying that he was going to do 100% tariffs on movies made outside the U.S.
Sure.
He can't do that. The thing is with tariffs that I think people need to realize is that unless it's a threat to national security, the president cannot enforce tariffs. They can't put out give the order for tariffs. It's only Congress that can do that. And I know that the case is heading to SCOTUS. The ones that are in place right now, they're leaving it in place until it reaches until SCOTUS hears the case. But if it is, considering the constitutionalists that are on the court, yeah, those tariffs are going to be overturned.
So again, I mean, like, this is what I'm trying to explain, though, is that, like, it's one of those things where if you do something, the karmatic response is going to come back at you. So if you go out and authorize a president to remove people from office, well, guess what? Another president's going to do that to people you don't want removed from office. It's one of those things. It's one bad apple does spoil the whole bunch in the case of politics. That's the hard part, and that's the most difficult place we're in right now, is that there are enough secrets and enough bad attitude and bad actors running around that you can't trust any government, left, right, in between. Even if you elected Jesus Christ himself today, people would be, side-eyeing him. All right? That's how it works right now. So we have to hold our breath and get through the period of what is necessary to keep this country whole coming to the surface. It's not going to be dirty Mountain Dew, I promise you. That's going to cause more violence in the streets. It will be dirty Mountain Dew riots, I promise you. But Hibiki Gamer does bring up a much lighter scenario. I love the Halloween Town movies.
I love it, except for the final one, I believe. That one was bad. I think the Halloween Town High, the first one and the second one, those are the good ones.
Well, we had the original one too, where everybody was still a kid and they were visiting their magical grandma who was a witch.
Yeah, that's what I was talking about. The original one. Yeah, the first one, and then there's the second one, which was Cal's Revenge, I think it was called, and it was the
brother became a warlock, and he was mad because everybody kept calling him a witch. I'm a warlock. It's different. I love it. Yeah, no, those are fun. I love the taxi driver. The sassy skeleton taxi driver, that was hilarious. Great use of animatronics. He wasn't anything but shoulders, a chest, and a head. He had arms. That was it. He didn't have legs. That was the funny part about him.
I think they showed his feet when he pressed the gas
pedal.
Oh,
right. They had little puppet feet for him. That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, well.
And also, rest in peace, Debbie Reynolds. She was in it, and she was just so fantastic. I think that was one of the first movies that introduced me to Debbie Reynolds was Halloween Town.
Mansom says it's still early. Yes, it is. I admit that. But I wanted to make sure we got the maximum amount of Halloweeniness into all this, So Sakura Mita's here and asks, is Jacob and Spencer planned for 01 Halloween on Friday? I don't know anything about that. I don't know why it would be on Friday.
Because Halloween apparently is on a Friday. Is it?
Oh, okay. I don't know. I'm not paying attention to the calendar. Let's see.
Yeah, it's on a Friday.
Yep. Okay. I don't know. I don't know where Jacob and Spencer will be. Spencer has, real life stuff to take care of along with the website. So he's having his own adventure right now. Of course, for him, it's just 4:00 in the afternoon. So it's not like, he's out late doing things.
He's also probably dealing with the Arizona age verification laws that were put into place.
Sure. That's probably a stymie on research. And, Jacob, like I said before, Jacob has stepped away from most streaming outside of his own channel because, like he said, he'd spent the last 3 years streaming and he'd kind of like to live life while it's still worth kind of living. So he's in Atlanta. There's a lot of stuff to see down there. And, it'd be nice for him to meet a lady. I would hope he'd meet a good, solid lady, likes movies. But who knows? It's a little hard to date when you're streaming about Marvel movies all the time,
Yeah.
Believe it or not, it doesn't bring the ladies running, believe it or not. Hibiki Gamer says, I don't really like Michigan because they removed VPN and banned VPNs. We need VPN to protect our privacy, social security from threats. You're right.
Well, the law hasn't passed. And what I remember seeing recently is he said the Christian nationalist that is behind this, he removed VPNs from the bill.
Oh,
VPN
good.
bans.
Okay.
So
there is a way to get through them.
Yeah, but there's still
Nord. The Nord
Yeah.
shadow government called.
But I mean, Michigan's not the only one. Well, Michigan's the one that's really doing a total porn ban. Like there's Arizona, as I said, their law came into effect.
Yep.
Ohio's came into effect, I believe. And I think there's another one. I can't remember. But there's one in California, in my state of California, that's very interesting. Let me pull it up in my bookmarks because I was very surprised. But from what I read, the state government worked with because Google and Silicon Valley is here in California. They worked with them to come up with a better solution, at least in my opinion. It involves not actually violating people's privacies. So let me share the screen because I have it right here.
Okay, cool. It's one of those rare times
So
Miss Nerdigans
basically,
is sharing her screen.
The law is called yes. So the bill is California Assembly Bill 1043, and it's basically asking parents to input their kids' age when setting up a smartphone, tablet, or laptop. I'm guessing game console. It didn't say game console, but my guess is that's probably the case too. So basically, what it's going to do is it will group users into one of 4 age brackets and send their age info, not anything else, just the age info to apps like Facebook and Instagram. And it does not mandate photo ID uploads. But yeah, and this is the law I was talking about in terms of Arizona. Here's the comparison. It says here, for any site with more than 1/3 of its content labeled as harmful to minors must restrict access to adults. And adults must verify their age through systems that may involve uploading selfies and matching them to government-issued ID. So you got California, who's really leaving it up to the parents, if you think about it. And it's just going off of the person's age that's inputted into a device. And then you have states like Arizona that are mandating people take selfies or upload their government ID. And this is crazy here. So this is where it gets insane. Parents can take legal action against the platforms that fail to enforce the digital ID/biometric verification. So they could seek $10,000 in damages for each day a site remains accessible to minors without proper screening. And the courts can also issue fines of up to $250,000 if a lack of verification leads to a minor accessing the content. And the legislation also imposes $10,000 penalties for any instance of sharing information with federal, state, or local authorities. This is their way of trying to like compensate for that, for the for people worried about privacy concerns and stuff like that. But like you see this, and then compared to California, it's like, why is California the voice of reason in this, in all of this? Like all these states are demanding people upload their ID. Or like take a selfie, or hell, I think for some cases, I think there's credit card information too. And it's like, hey, you got to do, the parents give the control back to the parents, just input the age into the device. And I think that like smartphone, tablet, all that. And I think that's a better way to do it.
Well, it's astonishing, as you said, that California has any sense to be bringing to this. But again, I mean, it's one of those, like I've been saying throughout this whole conversation, a lot of this is the swing back from people being frustrated with being browbeaten for 10 years. So they're taking their extreme response to the extreme attitudes of the last 10 years. So I can give California credit where it's due. It's nice that they're at least trying to follow the law while not, turning California into another Sharia state. But I think it's what we probably ought to just start calling them. So just call them Sharia states, might as well just call them Sharia states, At
this
they're going to make the women walk around with burqas any day now. Yeah,
because everything is considered porn to these people. Like girls,
the female form is erotic.
Exactly. I'm porn, just sitting here.
Yeah, we gotta get you that T-shirt. Apparently I'm porn? Question mark. But you have the again, like I said, they're gonna keep clapping back like this because they feel like society is out of control. This is the only way to bring it under control. Like I told Hibiki Gamer earlier, though, you can't go making these rules because guess what? For as many porn bans as you create, as many wide open taboo markets are going to be created. So you're going to get rid of porn in some states, and in other states, you're going to have open porn markets in the street. Because that's the reflexive measure that'll happen to extreme attitudes rather than just making sure, right? Just making sure that we encourage parents to be interacting with their children's online behavior. That's just too hard. You can't get mom and dad to pay attention to Junior and Sally while they're click-clacking on their tablet. It's too hard. We better ban porn. It's the only way to fix it. It's such an
That's what I keep saying from these people. And I'm just like, dude, you realize that violates the First Amendment. And like when they say porn, again,
it violates logic.
It does. And also something I gotta respect ILO for this because Florida is suing ILO as well. Let me see if I have it in my bookmarks somewhere. Is
ILO?
They are suing. ILO is the parent company of Pornhub. They're suing them, and I can't. Oh God, what was it? Because they're not enforcing the age verification law. And Pornhub is just, ILO's having Pornhub pull out of these states and just block access to them. Oh, here's the update for Michigan before I forget, so you guys could see what I was talking about a second ago. What's this?
From Michigan.
Is that, yeah, here.
There we
go. So yeah, the VP, so what he says here is I will be advancing the Public Morals Act as is. And he's not doing it. I'm drafting a new version that removes all language regarding VPNs and non-pornographic imagery to ensure this policy only addresses pornography. Well, you're still like going, the bill is still going after erotica, written porn, drawings, all of that. If you want a porn ban, you got to go after all of it. Because otherwise, yeah, it's not, you're still going to get porn in some way.
Well, and it's just an unrealistic thing to do. What their problem is that what they want to institute is a decency law, and the issue is that none of them know the culture well enough to name the decency they want enforced. They can't picture it. That's why these laws are so all over the place for each state, and they're just wildly swinging at things that you can't talk to your mom about at Olive Garden. That's the only qualification that these states are having for these bans is it makes me feel icky to talk about this in public. We need to ban it. That's it. That's the only unifying topic between all of these bills.
Mm-hmm. And as I said, Pornhub is pulling out of Arizona too. And I think this was missing. Yeah, 250,000. Here it is, 250,000 if one or more minors.
What a pun. They're pulling out of Arizona. Pornhub's pulling out of Arizona.
I know, right?
Oh, shit, what a pun, man.
Right? They're pulling out of a lot of states. But yeah, $250,000 if one or more minors accesses pornography due to the entity's violation of the age verification requirements of this act. And ILO did release a statement on this. It's just, let me do this.
How do you enforce it from either end? You know?
Yeah. They said here, to be clear, we have publicly supported age verification of users for years, but we believe that any law to this effect must preserve user safety and privacy and must effectively protect children from accessing content intended for adults. And unfortunately, the way many jurisdictions worldwide have chosen to implement age verification is ineffective, haphazard, and dangerous. And I've seen some of the poor man people that they know that their ban cannot be enforced. They've acknowledged it. So any regulations that require hundreds of thousands of adult sites to collect significant amounts of highly sensitive personal information is putting user safety in jeopardy. And moreover, as experience has demonstrated, unless properly enforced, users will simply access non-compliant sites or find other methods of evading these laws. I mean, look at the war on drugs. But this is not speculation either. We've seen how this scenario plays out in the United States. In Louisiana, Pornhub was one of the few sites to comply with the new law. Since then, our traffic in Louisiana dropped approximately 80%. And these people did not stop looking for porn. They just migrated to darker corners of the internet that don't ask users to verify age, that don't follow the law, that don't take user safety seriously, and that often don't even moderate content. In practice, the laws have just made the internet more dangerous for adults and children. And the best solution to make the internet safer, preserve user privacy, and prevent children from accessing adult content is performing age verification at the source on the device, which is what California is doing. The technology to accomplish this exists today, and what is required is the political and social will to make it happen. We are eager to be part of this solution and are happy to collaborate with government, civil society, and tech partners to arrive at an effective device-based age verification solution. And in addition, many devices already offer free and easy to use parental control features that can disclose or that can prevent children from accessing adult content without risking the disclosure of sensitive user data. So yeah, what basically ILO is asking for is what California is doing, is having it to where all devices have an age verification a thing in there, and on the devices. And once it's put in there, then the data from the device gets sent to social media platforms like Facebook and Instagram, and they plan accordingly. I don't know why these states, when I see all this stuff for age verification with the IDs and stuff like that, the first thing that comes to mind is this is not even about porn. This is about control. It's not even about protecting the children anymore. It's all about having control.
Yeah. As it always is with these laws where they're invading your privacy. But now we know, now there's an update on it. So
yeah, I'm trying to see if I can find the Florida one here because I swear I had it saved. But maybe I don't have it saved in my thing.
Well, that's okay. We've been on this one for a little while now. So we'll step off and move on to another one here. We have Frostfang 7 saying it's almost spooky season. That's right. We're getting ahead of it here. We have Spencer here a long time ago. Sorry about that. Just getting around to you guys almost 20 minutes later. I learned that Dirty is also zero sugar coffee creamer. Huh.
That's hilarious.
So wow, I don't know, man. You pour that in with your coffee. That's weird. Mountain Dew coffee. I don't know.
That sounds nasty.
It might be how you time travel. I don't know. But we have a naughty moose, not a naughty mouse. It says, no idea why, but you popped up, gave you a like anyway. Have fun all. Thank you so much. Hope you come back to celebrate Halloween with us some other time, or if you stayed. We have RJ McReady here saying, a good evening. We hope so anyway. We hope so. Richard's here saying, yo. Well, yo to you too, man. Welcome aboard. We have Kirby all the way across the Pacific saying, what is being banned? Pornography, anything that sends a thrill up your leg, unless it's Obama.
Yeah. Oh, it's Obama.
Yeah, you remember that from that Crossfire Chris, whatever, the old man there? That was so weird. Like, he sends a thrill up my leg. That's awkward. So before the show started, we were talking about sodas though. And we were talking about like the best kind of sodas out there. And you were telling me about Dr. Pepper. Dr. Pepper has a particular flavor that's out now. What was it? It was vanilla cherry. Is that what it was?
It's not out anymore. They took it for some reason. They got rid of it. Is for me anyway. I like diet cherry vanilla Dr. Pepper. That is like the king of diet sodas for me. Cherry Dr. Pepper still exists, but cherry vanilla is gone. The only way you could get it is at one of those like soda fountains that have like the flavors in there with the touchscreen. That's and you just make it yourself instead, which oh god, I miss diet cherry vanilla Dr. Pepper. It is so good. You wouldn't think it would be, but it's really good.
Oh yeah, Jolt. Yeah,
oh,
I remember Jolt. I got a kidney infection from Surge.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah. That was crazy. I just had like 2 bottles of it, and it was just like my body was like, "Wow, you're gonna die! Never drink this again." My mother called it toxic waste. She was like, "Stop drinking the toxic waste." And yeah, Spencer's like, "I love Surge. Fucking believe that. Yeah, it'll kill you, man. It'll kill you." Yeah, that's a keeper. Yeah, right. Well, I'm not sure what was in it. It was just like mostly sugar and corn syrup, I'm pretty sure. And my body was like, no, we're gonna die. But I remember the vanilla Pepsi.
Vanilla Pepsi's so good.
Was the thing.
There's also
they were
cherry vanilla
advertising.
Pepsi too, by the way. Cherry vanilla Pepsi is really, really good too. Not as good as Dr. Pepper, but it's good.
There was that one, and then of course there was the vanilla Pepsi commercial. Yeah, the commercial.
Yeah.
There we go. And so you go. There's the vanilla Coke. Turn that down a little. There you go. Shaking up all the soda. Oh, that's just gonna be flat as fuck by the time it gets to the store, but whatever.
Introducing you Pepsi Vanilla. The great taste of Pepsi with a splash of smooth vanilla flavor.
That was my jam until they told me I was allergic to soda and I couldn't have any more.
Oh,
So
that sucks.
that was awesome. But like you could go, remember you're talking about those fountain stores that you could fill up
Yeah.
like those big glugs or whatever. So you could do vanilla Pepsi and then like half that and then do the other half complete cherry flavoring. And it was like
Yeah.
a vanilla cherry Pepsi Jolly Rancher that you could drink. It was so disgustingly sweet. It almost stood on its own. It was so
Well, that's because you
full of
had
sugar.
regular. That's because you had regular. Now, if you have diet, it doesn't taste like uber sweet. I've noticed that.
Drink soda without dying. No, we don't need to do that one. Not yet. I'll have to figure out a clever Halloween tie-in for that, like that Thinner movie.
Yeah.
You know? But yeah, no, that was really great. I really miss vanilla Pepsi. That was one of those cultural touchstones, like Crystal Pepsi. You know, Pepsi Blue. That was another one. Was Pepsi Blue? You remember that?
Yes.
I only ever tasted it secondhand. So
I think I tried it like once, but it was a long time ago. And we were talking about like other old Mountain Dew flavors, like Mountain Dew Code Red. I used to, when I could drink sugary sodas without my stomach hurting, I loved drinking Mountain Dew Code Red.
did they bring it back?
I think they did. There's like at least 3 or 4 different flavors of Mountain Dew. There's the Baja one, which is exclusive to Taco Bell.
Yeah.
And
that-
then
that was pretty wild.
they also Taco Bell did like for the slushies.
Did they bring back Pepsi Blue?
No,
Is this a lie?
did they?
Is this a lie? This is Martin's Supermarkets. I'm trying to wait for their Martin Supermarket page to load. Oh, apparently it doesn't load to that anymore. So it was only a limited time thing. But it was real. There's even a wiki. It's so real. There's a Wiki Commons entry about it. There you go. So they brought back Pepsi Blue for like 10 seconds, apparently. Wow. Shit. Imagine they bring back Crystal Pepsi.
Oh God.
But they're like
I'd rather have
calling,
Diet Dr. Well, watch if they did bring back Crystal Pepsi or Pepsi Blue, they would have like the zero sugar option for both.
Yeah, they'd have the Pepsi Max version of Blue. It would just be like cough syrup.
I don't know if it'd be like cough syrup. Because if you've ever had like I like Coke Zero more than Diet Coke because it actually tastes like regular Coke. It just doesn't taste as sweet.
Wait, it's like I don't know. The diet stuff always tastes like cough syrup. There's chocolate soda though.
That's
Did you ever have
gross.
chocolate? Did you ever
That
have
sounds
that?
gross. No.
Okay, so you never had it. I've never had it. I just figured I was a country bumpkin. Blue here comes the green poop. Yep, that's how it goes. Blue in, green out. The human body knows what's up. Spencer says, my dad drinks caffeine-free, sugar-free Coke, and I always ask him, what's the point? It's fizzy, and it tastes like carbonated caramel coloring. So
At least half the caffeine. I mean, Coke Zero still has caffeine, and it tastes like Coke, but just less sweet. Same with Pepsi Max. It tastes like regular Pepsi, but it's like a lot less sweeter, which is good because God.
You remember when Cuba Gooding Jr. was doing Pepsi commercials?
Yes.
That was awkward. Cuba Gooding Jr. Pepsi. Oh, he's Cuba Gooding Jr., not Cuba. My bad. I spelled it with a K. I was being too ethnic.
Get ready to taste life for the first time, people. Watch out now. You want to taste life? Then take a big swig of this new.
That man just came through onto a plane where people were supposed to jump out. He came in the outdoor, just so you know, okay? And he brought them Pepsi One. Remember Pepsi One?
Yes, I remember Pepsi One.
Yeah, that was god awful. Somehow it tasted like coffee, and I hated it. I hated it as soon as I smelled it.
Pepsi One. This one's got it all. The most awesome cola taste. That's bigger than the wild blue yonder. But only 1 calorie. You want to taste one?
They didn't give him a script. They were just like, we're gonna throw you on a plane, say some shit about Pepsi, then jump.
Yeah. You want one? Yeah. You want one? You got one for me? Put your tray table up.
But he just happens to have like what, 12 of those? Because there were like 12 people there. He was carrying a 12-pack. Where's his parachute?
Prepare for takeoff, my man. New Pepsi One.
Oh, I see. Sorry, we're just gonna listen to do some cool jams from 1999 for a second there. Sorry. So wait, that's like, so the Pepsi propelled him, onto the plane just so it could give itself. See, Pepsi One was one of those like cord eclipse viruses. It was trying to take over humanity, and it had Cuba Gooding Jr. as its messenger, its herald. That's what gave him. He had the Power Pepsi Supreme instead of the Power Cosmic. He had the Power Pepsi. He fought Pepsi Man in the middle of the Pacific for it.
Oh God!
Why isn't that come on, DC, get with it. Make that a manga, Toei. Make that an anime. Let's make it a 5-minute anime, right? Where you have Pepsi Man and Cuba Gooding Jr.
Pepsi
being kaiju, and they're fighting for who can represent Pepsi One.
That'd be freaking awesome.
Assemble the Pepsi Infinity Stones. That's right. In case you need to zoom through flunking sorbet test. Oh, he was talking to Spencer. Cuba before there was Terrence Howard. Yeah, right? Cuba Gooding Jr. before there was Terrence Howard. Strange world. But we do have important-er things to talk about. We do have important things. Among those importanter things is the return of Reading Rainbow. I know we were all like at the edge of our seats, but now
I feel so old.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, after nearly 20 years, I'm like, oh my God, I feel extremely old.
After nearly 20 minutes off the air. But yeah, no, you're gonna see that a lot, because just like the boomers and the Gen X had their childhoods and lifetime experiences plundered for sweet cash, so too will the millennial generation taste the same fate. So get used to it.
Tasting it.
Yeah. We haven't even begun, believe me. It hasn't even begun. So I'm trying to find like the right anime to start with things. Sorry about that.
It's all good.
Well, no, this is a good one. I gotta download it first because Slack is so good. But how's everybody doing? Feeling good tonight? Yeah, having a good time.
Mm-hmm.
Make sure the kids are in bed already. Good for you guys. All right, here we go. So Infinity Castle has made a fuck ton of money.
Yep, it's defeated DC. It's defeated the DCU. It's defeated the MCU, and it's defeated the Western animation industry.
Well, it's not like it was hard, This is the thing, is that a lot of people really enjoy how Demon Slayer is presented, but it isn't yet held to the kind of acclaim that Berserk is held to, that Dragon Ball, the original Dragon Ball, is held to. Yet. That could change. But at the time, so what I'm trying to say is that this ain't even prestige anime
It's not.
that is mopping the floor with what the US has to offer. That's how weak our entertainment system is right now. Our entertainment industry. Sorry, it's not the stereo that's the problem. And again, like, we're looking at two threadbare concepts that arguably were, doing their best with what the studios were allowing them to do, and that wasn't enough. It's not that these things should be making $1 billion, but they should be able to own the markets that they're intended to appeal to.
But you know what this is too, is someone reminded me of this. One of my Twitter followers reminded me of this, is that Sony Pictures International has taken control of the distribution for their movies now. And because I was thinking, wow, this Demon Slayer is getting marketed pretty well. And it's like, oh yeah, it's not Crunchyroll that's doing it. It's Sony Pictures that's doing it. And if it's, we might see Chainsaw Man Rize up in here too, defeating Western Entertainment, if Sony does market it as well as they're doing with Demon Slayer.
Wow.
I mean, Chainsaw Man Rize is #1 in the box office in Japan right now for 2 weeks straight, I believe. Now, yeah.
Hell yeah! Hell yeah! You're doing it good, buddy. Great job.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. See that again, like, even if you're in opposition to anime, like, being the standard entertainment in the world, what it is a cleansing broom for all of the mess that we're just sort of stuck with in the post-woke era, if you will. I'm putting emphasis on woke, if you will, to kind of let that stick out on its own. So, again, what I'm trying to explain is that, like, Hollywood is a big ship to turn. You're not going to get these 5-year movie projects to just upend now that the culture's not in favor of all the crazy, leaps in logic these movies were making. Let's put it that way. And so anime is coming through and saying, while you're busy trying to figure out things and get your house right, we're going to sweep house and take over your entire market space and shift the audience's expectations toward Japanese style entertainment. Because believe it or not, that's a byproduct of getting into anime, is starting to appreciate Japanese culture. Because guess what's in anime? Japanese culture. It's crazy like that. It's crazy. So, and that's going to further confuse the Hollywood market, who has not been paying attention to Japan whatsoever. They were all blindsided by that Godzilla movie. Mm-hmm. And I saw it. I'm not shitting on those guys. But 10 years ago, 20 years ago, that would have been just a kind of a neat movie. In 2005, that would have been a neat movie. Today, it kicks so much ass because it's not trying to lecture to you about something you recognize. Okay? I think a lot of people kind of forget that in Japan, that movie has a different meaning. Not entirely different, but for us, we don't have the on-the-ground cultural roots to what was going on with kamikaze pilots, with how people were feeling about the war and things like that, and what Godzilla ultimately symbolizes to the Japanese. We have giant lizard attacks Tokyo, and people don't like it. That's what we have. And so when they were just absolutely blindsided that this movie was A, so good, and B, that it had won so many awards. There were many Hollywood folks that were just absolutely, you saw them in the crowd when the camera went over them. They were just like, what? This Japanese guy won? What? And so now they're going to have to get used to Infinity Castle has won another award, guys. Infinity Castle has won another award, guys. By the way, Infinity Castle's won another award, guys.
Well, as I said, there's competition with Chainsaw Man Rize coming out. And the thing is, there's a difference here. And this is why Chainsaw Man Rize might not do as well, is because it is rated R. Whereas Demon Slayer is PG-13. So, yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how the numbers are.
Well, and that's what I'm trying to kind of like get at about this, is that I think what we're going to end up seeing is that Americans will come to have more of an interest in the way the Japanese handle these topics because they have gay characters. They have cross-dressing characters. They have gods and goddesses, demons, good, bad, and they have characters who are gray area. And time again, Japanese anime in particular is not wholly as in every single one, but the majority of the anime that at least leaks over here executes the topics that I just mentioned there with a lot more finesse than the ham-fisted hammer that Hollywood's been wielding for the past 30 years. So for as long as we've been alive.
I mean, look at what Gundam has done, and it's handled like really serious topics like war. And Tomino said in an interview that Hollywood doesn't, the people that are in Hollywood right now don't, or never in war or experienced war, so they don't understand
It's just a game to them. Yeah.
Yeah.
Not only that, they've never experienced a challenge in their life that put their life on the line. And I'm not telling people to go like bungee jumping with a person cutting the other end of the cord for fun. I'm not telling you to do that. What I'm telling you is that adversity shapes your ability to tell your story. If your story is, I woke up today, I had toast, and the toast was kind of dry, I would hope it's a comedy act that you're trying to get through there, because otherwise that's not a very interesting story. But if you're somebody that, woke up and had to fight to breathe, well, that's a bit more compelling now, isn't it? And that helps you tell a story that's a lot different. That's why I think like this era of Japanese anime and manga has been particularly like emotional and bitey, because it's coming from the forgotten generation, our generation, not the one that we belong to in Japan, but the age group that matches ours in Japan. They got completely fucked by the housing collapse in 2008. If you don't know, leaving high school, you have to go into university immediately. There's no taking a year off to find yourself. They do not hire out of university. They do not hire off the street. You leave university into your workplace. You do not have the ability to take time off. You go from high school to university to your work. That is the road. And in 2008, Japanese corporations, every last one of them, froze hiring. A whole generation of Japanese that had spent their entire lives prepping for work at these corporations had dedicated their entire university careers in the Japanese way, not in the American way, dedicated in the Japanese way to getting these jobs, were blocked and thrust out into the gig economy, the 9-to-5 economy. And they died. Their souls died, their spirits died, their hope died. And now these guys have finally got the right to be able to tell their stories. And that's why I think we're seeing so much emotion, so much, we have to change the current status, so much of that rising hero, sort of like how Deku is this. All Might is already a very like wholesome, good character. He has his like showboaty attitude, but that guy is 100% good guy. But Deku is that much more a good guy. And that's again, like, I don't know if that's Horikoshi, like trying to like talk about the differences between what Japanese consider good and bad and what is the righteous and what is the just, because that's the difference between All Might and Deku. All Might is the righteous, Deku is the just. That's the difference between the two of them.
I'd say the better example is, because they're more of in a gray area, is Vigilantes, and that's not Horikoshi. That is oh God, what's his name?
Yeah.
Shit,
That's another hallmark of this, though. Is that the Japanese are exploring individuality through superheroes again, and this is something they don't typically do unless like the soul of what it is to be Japanese is threatened. A lot of points in the 80s were exploring this superhuman aspect. And I'm not saying it's universal. It's just stuff I've noticed as I've watched the culture evolve, and I've researched it over the years.
Okay, now I remember. It was Furuhashi that I was referring to in terms of the writing.
And he's another one that's in his late 20s and early 30s.
Let me see. I'm not sure if he is. But
because that's where Horikoshi is. He's like mid 30s, I think Horikoshi is, late 30s, something like that.
Let me see if I can find it. Yeah, he was born in 71, so he's more so in his 40s, going in the 50s. Or yeah, 50s. He's in his 50s. I can do math, but yeah, he's in his 50s.
And Richard again echoes that what's coming out of Japan is very sanitized to what they have in their actual media. And yeah, I've had to explain this over and over again to Power Ranger fans that Super Sentai cannot exist on the air for 5 to 8-year-olds. So
No.
your dream of having Hasbro just dub Super Sentai and air that's not going to happen. It's
I mean,
way
they
too
did
violent.
try. They tried to dub Ultraman back in the day, and it didn't work out very well.
Ultraman's a hard concept for Americans. The giant man thing never caught on. We had Apache Chief that had that power, and then Wonder Woman's Giganta foe. And it just the giantism is just a strange concept in the West. It doesn't seem to. It only seems to work well around like Nephilim and Bigfoots, you know. And then the rest of the time, it just doesn't seem to hit home with a giant hero, you know. And that's kind of the sucky part, I guess, about American media in particular, is that we don't embrace the big guy kind of hero. So, but yeah, that's why Ultraman just ultimately can't really land here. Is we have like, yeah, we have Paul Bunyan, right? And I thought about making a comic book about Paul Bunyan that fought, you know, he was a Nephilim that fought for humans, and that's where the myth of Paul Bunyan came from. And he was a logger, but he was also a Nephilim fighting other Nephilim to protect humans and things like that.
That'd be
Because
awesome,
America.
actually.
Well, but I was thinking about it, and then I was like, nobody's going to go for this because they're not into giants. It'll work for like one issue, for like a one shot. But like, as the story goes, Paul can't go in anywhere. He can't like meet new people unless they come out to the forest and see the giant Paul Bunyan man. And so basically you have to tell the story like Godzilla, where the tiny human is riding along Paul Bunyan's journey from his perspective, so that he can go meet other people and expand the world, where Paul is stuck with, you know, the Godzilla role of, you know, breathing nuclear fire on your enemy. So, and that's where I just ultimately fell apart with the idea, because I was like, it's a good one shot, but I mean, you get to issue 5, it's over with. There's nothing, you can't really do much more. He fights other Nephilim. The end. So, again, you could make a video game out of it. That's a great video game. That's easily like 100 levels, but like it doesn't do much more than that. It's sort of like God of War. You can tell a really neat contained story, but you start getting off that track of revenge. What else is there to Kratos? They had to throw a son in there in order to keep him going, you know? So
Yeah.
it's just one of those things. So everyone is just baby birds being fed. What's funny is when the West takes this and chew it up and even spit it out. Yeah, it's garbage. It's the other thing is we take weak properties from Japan and we make them even worse. That's the other thing. We make them even worse.
Well, Netflix is trying to do a live action for Demon Slayer. I'm like,
Of course they are, because for some reason the West is like, no one's going to take this seriously unless real people are in it. And I don't get it. Like, honestly, the smarter thing to do for Netflix is to sit down, analyze what worked in Demon Slayer, and then tell an American version of it. Not Demon Slayer, the American version, but make their own property that takes from what worked with Demon Slayer and revamps it for the American mythology. They could probably make a pretty good, you know, presence in the market with it. Because the concept already works. See, this is the hard part I have with this media company, like Netflix and Amazon. They're so anxious to make their own properties until there's a good idea on the table, and then they're just like kryptonite repelled from it. They'll run and go make all these stupid seasons of The Boys, but then when they have the ability to make their own Kamen Rider, like they did with Kamen Rider Amazons, they just, oh no, I don't want to do that. I want to make a weird Oedipus fetish Superman that murders people and uses the N-word. That's what I want to do. Jeff Bezos, 2000 something or other, probably. You know,
but
I just imagine Jeff Bezos watching The Boys saying, man, I paid money for this. Jeez.
But the thing is that's funny with both Netflix and Amazon is they have like really good Japanese live action adaptations. Like, for Christ's sakes, Netflix has the Kingdom live action adaptation series on there. You would think they would look at that and be like, oh, this is how you do a live action. Alice in Borderlands is another example. Alice in Borderlands is on its 3rd season and it's doing really well. I mean, they have Bleach live action on there. I think Gintama's on there as well. I know Kakiguri's live action, the good Kakiguri live action is on there. And from what I know with the Kakiguri live action is they had what made Kakiguri, but they didn't do like a straight up adaptation. They added some of their own stuff in there.
Say that
too.
5 times fast. Made Kakiguri. That's funny.
Yeah.
That's funny. But we do have announcement from Disney. Now, I know Disney is verboten in this end of the world, but this is a Japanese Disney situation.
Japanese Disney is good. So basically what's coming out next month, it's going to be late October, is Twisted Wonderland. And if you have not played, it's a game, and there's also the manga adaptation, and the manga is really good. The designs are done by the mangaka of Black Butler. And yeah, and basically the best way to describe it, it's kind of like a mixture of Harry Potter and Descendants, where the houses that the kids are in are based off of Disney villains. And like what's cool about each one is like Hearts and Bull is its own story. It's focused around the Doormaster of the Queen of Heartstorm, Riddle. Then you got Savannah Claw, which is revolving around Leona, the head of the Scar Dorm. And we've also got what was the other one? Octavianal, which is based on, it involves the head of the Ursula Dorm. That one was really good because there's something that they have here called Overblot. Let me see if I can pull up a couple of images of it.
It's always funny to me how the Japanese characters look nothing like their Western counterparts. It's hilarious. The Queen of Hearts is this big, fat, ugly, lady.
Yeah.
Big old cheeks, and then the anime counterpart is like,
the head is Twisted. What the Queen of Heartstorm is a femboy, but let me I'll pull up his Overblot because they make him like really.
Feminine.
If
you blink too quick, it looks like a Harry Potter anime too.
That's what it is. It kind of is. It kind of is like Harry Potter. That's why I said Harry Potter meets Descendants, because it's like you have the dorms, but they're villains, and there is there's one for princes as well. Oh, okay, good. I have all the Overblots. Just hold on a second. Let me just open these up in new tabs.
So, this looks like somebody sat down, or like anime characters look like this, and they just decided, look at that shit. Look at this. This is hilarious. This is absolutely ungodly hilarious. It's like how the queen would see herself in the mirror, but it's like the anime version anyway. It's so, I don't know, man. It almost feels like they're supposed to be like a VTuber group that any minute the video is going to cut and they're just going to be a live stream with a chat that says, ooh, woo, just streaming by. I think they're all going to be VTubers. They do look like VTubers. Look at the character design. They look like VTubers.
Here we go.
Look at them.
Okay, I just got to grab one more Overblot and I'll show you what they look like, because the designs for these Overblots is what an Overblot is when they use too much like negative. There's like too much negative magic, and the gems that they wear or use for their magic, when they turn black from all the corruption, they transform, and it's so cool. I gotta just grab.
Oh, okay. So it's like from Kingdom Hearts.
Yeah, it's like a mixture of Kingdom Hearts and Harry Potter and stuff like that. And actually, at the end of Octavianal, Mickey does make an appearance. He does. I'm trying to find.
They just look like VTubers. I can't get over it, man. They just look like VTubers. Like this is like from the new Niji Sanji Disney group that they've created,
Here we go. All right, I got the final one here. Okay.
I don't even know if Niji Sanji's still in business, by the way. I don't know. It's been a long time.
Okay.
Yeah, so this isn't Kingdom Hearts. No, it isn't. It isn't Kingdom Hearts, but it's close. It's close.
It's like Kingdom Hearts.
To be.
Yeah, it's kind of like Kingdom Hearts with a with more of a Harry Potter twist. All right, let me show you the Overblock designs because they are freaking sick. So this
I do want to
is
say thank you to Nerdy Texan Accountant for becoming a member. Welcome aboard. Welcome aboard the Orca.
so this is the one. This is the Overblock you're going to see in this first season. This is Riddle, and
Okay, so
obviously
just-
it's based on the Queen of Hearts.
Can you narrow the screen a little bit?
Oh yeah, here we go.
Oh, that's better. Now I
Yeah.
can see something.
Yeah, this is from the manga.
Flat-chested Queen of Hearts. Oh boy.
Well, he's a guy.
I
And then in
missed
the
that
back
part.
here, yeah, for the back of each one, like behind them, they have this is where the black ink, aka the stuff from the corruption is. They have like this really cool design behind them. In the case of Riddle, it's the Queen of Hearts, and the head is a heart with the crown. Now, in the case of
Is that like an enemy stand or something?
kinda, yeah, but here's this is Leona from the Scar Dorm. And you see how it kind of has like Scar behind him. I love this design. It's very tribal.
Oh
But
yeah,
yeah.
this also reminds me of that manga that was all the Greek gods were in high school together.
Oh god, what series is that?
Or Zeus was the principal.
Oh, I know what series you're talking about, but I
Yeah.
can't remember. And then
That was
here's the one for Ursula. I think I love it. I love the motif. You got like the coral like on
Is that
his
another
shoulders. This is a
Gender.
guy.
Oh, it's a he. Okay.
Yeah, this is a guy.
This is weird.
I know it's very
about
gender
that.
bendy, but I love it. I love
So,
this
like,
design for Ursula.
Is
for Ursula's.
Jasmine a dude?
Nah, there's the one for Jafar is called Scarabia, and that one just started not too long ago. I need to read and catch up with it. But yeah, I love these designs.
Yeah, this
I
is
do.
clearly for women. Yeah, the fan service for girls is all
Yeah,
over the
it
place.
It is. But God, I love this design. And like what they do for some of the characters inspired by the minions is really cool too. There's twins
The
that are
what?
supposed, you know, the minions.
fucking what?
The
They
minions,
put
like
the minions in this. They had to
They
have
put,
paid the Japanese an ungodly amount of money to do this.
put,
It's amazing.
they put the, like for example, the eels for that Ursula has, they're twins in this. They're twin like mermaid kind of thing. And then for Leona, he has in
Different
his dorm-
minions. Okay,
Yeah,
I was
minions.
like, I was thinking of like Bob and the other little yellow shit
no, no,
stirrers.
no.
That's who it was. I was like, what the fuck? They got like gender bent Ursula running around, and then like yellow turd Bob mermaid shows up. Is that what happened?
Here, I have the twins right here. Let me pull it up.
I can't wait for minions to do
This
that.
is the
anyway.
twins. These are
Oh.
supposed to be the eels. I love these designs a lot. They're really cool.
Of course you do. They
I
look
just
like
think they're
VTubers.
interesting. I don't watch VTubers. Like to me, what this
That's
is,
what
this
we
is,
need. We need an underwater VTubing group.
look, we got like the eel tail. It's so cool. I like this kind of stuff. I like in the case of the overplots, like I see it as like kind of a couture design kind of thing because there's exaggeration going on in for oh my god, for the proportions, the exaggerated proportions, and it's so cool. I love it. I wish like
Yes.
I mean, the thing is with Disney Japan that I've noticed is they take more risks and they're not afraid to like really go for it. It's the same thing with Marvel manga, like Spider-Man, Octopus Girl. They really did something completely different than what you would see from an average Marvel series.
Again, like I've talked about before on this channel about this, is that the Japanese follow the basic story structure that the West does, but in the middle of it, they have this process of putting a twist. It's a standard. Whereas in the West, we have the beginning, middle, end structure. The Japanese stick a corkscrew before the end. And that is typically what ends up creating these very unique worlds out of, like the Suicide Squad isekai. Like
Yeah.
ordinarily, Western comics would not entertain that at all. They would not have any concept of Harley Quinn becoming an RPG fantasy hero. And yet the Japanese are like, no, this is a whole cottage industry, bro. We just plug in your weird blonde girl and all the crazy stuff just takes care of itself. Like they're waiting for it right now. Let's go. And again, this is the school of thought, is taking the ordinary and putting a dramatic twist on. That's why Yusuke Urameshi, a smart mouth 14-year-old high school student, freshman, who does more fighting than thinking, ended up being a spirit detective that shoots deadly blue laser beams from the tip of his finger and later his knuckles. Okay, the spirit shotgun. That was badass. Like I had that as my ringtone for a while. Spirit shotgun, and that was crazy. But so again, in the U.S., we look at teenagers and we say we're going to take the guy who's pathetic. And we're going to make sure that he has this moral-driven story behind him. Whereas Yusuke was like, hey, my boss told me you're a piece of shit, so I'm going to fucking kill you. And that was the end of it. Like, Junior just told Yusuke, go fuck that guy's shit up sideways. And Suzaku was like, my ass. And that was how the whole first chapter of that went, you know?
Yeah.
And again, that's just Yu Yu Hakusho. That's not prestige anime. That's not prestige writing. Like you get into how it's easy to forget that Cowboy Bebop is an anime. You can easily forget watching that it's an anime and it's not just something that's just out of your own brain, like you're watching your own imagination in front of you. It's really surreal to watch stuff like Space Dandy as well. It's not just because of this director. Things like Big O, you forget you're watching an anime until the giant robot punches his way up through the ground. And you're like, oh yeah, it's an anime with a giant robot. And that's what I'm trying to get at, is that the Japanese managed to take the concept of like a detective negotiator like Roger Smith, and then they're like, what if we had a giant robot and he was kind of like Batman? And all of a sudden, whoa, we have an amazing concept on our hands. But for whatever reason here in the West, we're like, we have a negotiator. He's in a city full of people who can't remember anything, and that's it. They never think to add that totally unexpected thing that doesn't belong there and then legitimize it as a thing that belongs there. If you take the Big O out of Roger Smith's universe, it's still pretty interesting that these people are living in this simulated world, but it takes out the hook that makes the show so dynamic. It's still an interesting story, but it's pretty ho-hum. And that's what ends up happening here in the West, is they take out that punch, you know, for lack of a better term.
And, because of course you mentioned Kamen Rider earlier, I have to mention that a series that is coming out on October 5th. It's starting is Tojiba Tanazaburo wa Kamen Rider ni Naratari, aka Tojiba Wants to Be a Kamen Rider, is coming out next week.
Which one was this?
I forgot to put the link in here.
Oh, okay,
in there
sorry.
for the
That's
trailer.
why I was quiet.
Because the reason why, like, I only was putting the trailers that I could find off the top of my head.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
Yeah.
The Kamen Rider, again, going through a big change right now. Zets has seen some pretty great results with the simul streaming. It would appear that Toei is okay with this. They were asked recently in a Deadline article if they were like, how's it going? How's all this going? And they're like, we want to do more. So expect more Toei products to be finding their way to streaming services or their own streaming service. They may, I forget what they call their streaming service in Japan, but they may just plop that on over on the American internet. I don't know. But you might not need a VPN to access it. So the other thing they said is that they weren't involved with Disney's reboot of Power Rangers. So it would appear that they're not hurting for that contract being ceased. If I had to guess, this was like taking the leash off of them, to be honest. They didn't have to conform to our crazy ideas. You remember those two fellas? I forget who they are. It was a fellow wearing a white jacket, and he said it's like a religion in the West. This ideologies that defeat all the things that make Japanese.
Oh, that was
unique.
for I think that was for Dragon Quest, right?
Yeah, it was for Dragon Quest. It was those guys, and again, like that's what I'm referring to, is that like without the contract to fulfill with Hasbro and Neo Saban's crazy requirements, it would appear that Kamen Rider has been unleashed. Super Sentai has been unleashed. Toei itself has been unleashed to explore its own creative enterprises without having to be like, oh, wait, those guys in California are going to be super duper big mad about this. So, well, excuse me, Hasbro is now headquartered in Boston. So it's my coast's problem now.
Yeah, Boston is pretty bad too. It's pretty liberal.
Oh yeah, I know why they relocated there. I have, yeah, it's no mystery to me. But yeah, so look forward to more Kamen Rider coming out, by the way. It's all good news.
Yeah. And then there's also, because you mentioned Cowboy Bebop, I looked at, because when I did my live stream covering Fall Anime 2025, I looked at One Punch Man's production team, because that's what I do. I look at the production teams to kind of get an idea if it's going to be good or not. And I feel so bad because the person who does the script writing for One Punch Man is the script writer for Cowboy Bebop.
That doesn't surprise me, actually.
Here, let me pull it up because I have it here.
It really doesn't because...
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Because something we've discussed is how there is a director problem. And once the right director is on the project, then magic happens and everyone gets utilized to their fullest potential. That's what's been going on with One Punch Man for the longest time. Here it is. Tomohiro Suzuki is the one. Yeah, here we go. Let me share this.
Nerdigans, full of all the shared screens tonight. My.
Yeah. So this is the writer for, he's been with One Punch Man since the very beginning. And he's also he's the script writer for Sosu no Frieren. He did some Tiger and Bunny stuff too. Where's the, because I
feel like Tiger and Bunny is like a litmus test for people to work in Toku related productions, be they animated or real life. It seems like so many people involved with tokusatsu right now, animated or otherwise, had like some foot in with Tiger and Bunny.
Yeah.
If you're not familiar, Tiger and Bunny takes place in a heavily commercialized hero world. It's a lot more explicit than My Hero Academia. The heroes are actually like wearing jumpsuits like NASCAR racers that have the companies that sponsor them printed on it. So, and they have to abide by the sponsors. And of course, some of them have to generate footage for what they're doing because this is before the age of content creation. This was like in the age of reality TV. So it's a really fun concept. The animation style's wonky because it uses that 3D style for a lot of the action, and I just don't like that cel-shaded look. Maybe you do, but yeah, Tiger and Bunny, check it out.
I'm trying to see if okay. So we've talked about Digimon and what we're thinking about it. Well, again, I looked at the production team, and the scriptwriter for One Piece is on Digimon Beat Break. You got Anno Extra.
Okay.
Yeah. So
that's a weird crossover. Yeah.
Sailor Moon, they wrote Sailor Moon Super S in the script for Sailor Moon Sailor Stars too.
Is that Bobby Lee? Steve Kirby. They don't all look alike, okay?
It's crazy. This is the scriptwriter for Metabots. They did G Gundam.
So he comes from a background of going into a property and kind of turning on its head for the best, turning it on its head for the best. It's not one of those Ryan Johnson types,
No. Yeah, I just was shocked that it was them that was doing it. And then there is, where's the director? Here he is.
They do to me. Oh my God.
He worked on One Piece too.
So yeah, there's a lot of
like he was the
he not only
director
worked on One Piece, he is One Piece. He is One Piece.
Well, he did episodes 352 to 679.
Yeah, that's
he did
a lot
One Piece
of them.
Gold. Yeah, there's a lot of people that worked on Precure and working on a lot of these the anime this season. That's what I noticed.
Oh yeah. It did do the
Yeah.
tokusatsu anime thing before anybody else did.
Mm-hmm.
Oh no, Cashern. Cashern was the one that did it, but I guess that Precure was the one that did it the most like modern-y, I guess. Cashern was another one that'll blow your mind. Like Cashern Sins is like, whoa, what happened to
I know,
the show?
Cider, I know
Did you
in
ever
the
see
group
that
chat, with you, which one?
Cashern Sins?
Sorry, I was trying
Did
to find
you see
something.
Cashern?
I don't think, no, I haven't.
Oh, okay. That's fine. It's one of those bleak
Well,
ones
what I
from
was
the mid 2000s. So
Well, what I was going to say is that in the group chat that with Jacob and Spencer, I found someone posted what the Digivolutions are going to look like in terms of like the actual process.
oh, I'm sorry. Where did that go? Oh, okay, I got it. My bad.
Yeah.
We will play that for you now. And then we'll move over and show that screen. There we go. See, we run a professional show around here, trust me. So there you go. So this is what Miss Nerdigans is talking about here with Digimon Beat Breaks Evolution animation. That's my bad. There we go.
Yeah. Yeah.
I didn't have a thumbnail. I apologize.
So Santa takes place in the future where, like, obviously the birthing crisis has gotten worse. The birth rate crisis has gotten worse. And all the kids are go to this one school and they're not like allowed to sleep because they're not allowed to grow up because youth is everything in this world. And the vice principal, for example, is like in his, I want to say like his 80s or something like that. And like he has so much plastic surgery done on him that you can't even tell. Well, minus his hands. That's him right there. He's so creepy. Yeah, they're the protagonist, Santa, is a descendant of Santa Claus. And when he sees red or some of his blood spills out, then he turns from a kid to an old man, aka Santa. And he gets like all the strength of Santa. It's like, this is it right here. It's so cool. Oh my God.
The fucking what?
It's crazy, isn't it? I love this. That's the hands I was talking about. But later on in the manga, you see descendants from other holidays. So there's a descendant from Halloween. I believe there's one we haven't seen the Easter one yet. I need to freaking catch up with it, with the chapters that are available. There's like Santa will meet like kids that are descendants of like different gods. So it's not just holidays. There's Japanese gods that are there too. It's a very interesting series.
Huh. I guess, somebody sat down like, what can I do with these public domain characters? And, it worked.
Itagaki Paru is a very interesting person. I mean, if you've read Beastars, you know about the political commentary there.
Nerdigans, I don't think you get to be a mangaka in Japan if you're not an interesting person. I think it's a prerequisite to be a bit of a weirdie in order to become a mangaka in Japan, just because it requires, as demonstrated, a very different way of seeing the world.
Yeah. And yeah, all of Paru's series, at least thus far, there's another one I need to read. But yeah, there's a political commentary with the Beastars. It's the timing of it was very interesting because it came out during the COVID, where there was the riots and all that. You saw the herbivores protest against the carnivores, and it was almost like an interspecies war kind of thing. God, this looks so good. I can't wait to watch it.
There is a Death Stranding anime.
Yep.
With a guy who has a squid stuck to his face. That's neat.
Yeah. Kojima announced this one during the 10th anniversary special for Death Stranding.
Jeez, it's been 10 years. Mm-hmm. Oh my goodness. It has been 10 years since Norman Reedus began delivering fucking packages in Iceland. My God. That's nuts. And then
it is,
Squid
right?
Face Guy is doing his Squid Face Guy stuff. It
looks
feels
so
a bit like Sid, what's his face, that designed the bullshit for Alien? Sid Meier's or something like that. I don't think that's his name. Sid something or
No.
other. But he designed the Alien aesthetic, and it feels very much like that. It feels very
Yeah, I could see that.
organic machine horror kind of stuff.
It actually
But
looks really good though. It doesn't look like crap like with Splinter Cell.
yeah, clearly they've taken time to refine that 3D cell shaded anime look so they can do CGI anime, but it looks very stylized, so you don't care so much. It's
Yeah.
not trying to be an anime, it's acknowledging that it's a video game, like art style, I guess.
Yeah.
That's what I appreciate about this, is I'm not insulted that this is CGI.
It's blended. The 2D is blended into the CGI very
Yeah.
well.
They complement each other. As usual, Kojima finds a way to make two things that don't work. I admire the guy. He's got some really weird ideas about the world, but as I said about mangaka, you just don't become those people unless you see the world in that weird way.
It's very true.
Like having a squid guy face.
We haven't talked about the biggest announcement that came out this past week, and that is Steel Ball Run. This trailer came out.
Yes. And we like that. Ignore the Warner Brothers logo. Just ignore it.
It's just Spencer, obviously, and I'm going to be writing about this for Bounding, is that one of the members of the production team came out and said this. But approaching this as the newest JoJo anime season, we realized the early chapters would need restructuring. Actually working on it, the story composition has been quite a challenge, and we have to reproduce the same exhilaration the original gave to readers, so we can't change it too drastically. So yeah, it's going to be changed. The other thing that I saw, I didn't send this one to Spencer, but the production team was talking about how the horses for Steel Ball Run, a lot of them are going to be hand drawn, so it's not going to be all CGI.
Wow. Those must be some very expressive horses.
Well, if you've seen stuff like Yamushi Pedals anime, and you when they're riding on the bikes and the camera zoomed out, it's CGI and it looks so bizarre. Ha! I know, pun. But yeah, that's why they're doing it like that, so it just doesn't look awkward. The other thing that JoJo's Bizarre Encyclopedia found was that Netflix metadata has the Steel Ball Run anime's availability date set as March 19th, 2026. And it's the same time. Yeah. And this time is at 7 a.m. UTC, which is the same time as Stone Ocean and some other batch releases. However, this does not necessarily have to be the real release date and could just be a placeholder.
Oh, okay. Well, I'll have to wait and find out, I guess.
Yeah. I'm just
They've been pretty secretive.
Yeah. When I saw some of the character designs for Steel Ball Run, and if you look at the manga, it's not as detailed, obviously. Yeah. And there's a lot of the patterns from the outfits that are missing. And I've come to realize that this is just a problem in modern anime where apparently modern anime studios are just not going to animate patterns like Tartan or Houndstooth. What was the other one?
It takes too long.
Plaid. It takes too long to do that, even though they should just be copying and pasting it, frankly. Yeah. But
well, again, those techniques were lost, like how we got back and forth to the moon. Lost to time. Speaking of being lost to time, the gameplay trailer for Insomniac's Marvel Wolverine launched here. Looks like it's going to be another one of those 2026 releases.
Yeah.
This one was not a big surprise. We heard about this along with the Spider-Man 2 announcement, so it was one of those ones that people were waiting for. Insomniac, as I just mentioned, responsible for Spider-Man and Spider-Man 2. The most recent one being the one that had Miles Morales featured in it, and a very curious scenario where Mary Jane is near bulletproof and doing better crime fighting than Peter Parker. It's such a strange incident. So now this comes out, and a lot of people had some pretty spicy, I guess we'll borrow a quarteringism, spicy things to say about it because, a bit of post, what do we call it? Post insomniac stress disorder, I don't know what to call it. But they're feeling badly about what happened with the Spider-Man game. Also, that was the one that had the one with the deaf girl who was graffitiing things.
Yeah.
And so the Wolverine game has people feeling a bit nervous. For me, I think it's hard to screw up a Wolverine game, but then there was early footage of them apparently having med packs available for him. So it's like, what, Like that's like the second thing Wolverine's known for. So the first is the claws, the second is that he just can't kill him. That's the thing. So long as you can put him back together, he's still functional. Doesn't matter how long he's been apart. So it's not even magical either. It's this crazy thing he does. I don't know. It's barely explained in the comics. It's a crazy healing factor that he has. It's like the time the Hulk ripped him in half and he put himself back together. So that was gross, by the way. It was very hard to get through that comic. But that's what I'm talking about.
I wanted to ask you, did you notice the more masculine looking Mystique design?
Yeah, that was something that stuck out. I wonder if it's in the article here. Ryan may not. No, Ryan didn't grab it by accident there. It's one of the feature things that a lot of the people were talking about here. We don't need behind the clothes. We need the actual trailer. So, but where are you, Mistook?
Because we know that there are people that are working on Wolverine that are buddies with Sweet Baby Inc. Like the writer, for example.
Oh, there we go. There is Mystique here. She is, of course, looking a bit,
There's not enough hair on her head either. Just, that's driving me nuts too.
She does seem a bit thin in the hair department. But we're also used to Mystique with her big hair too. So
yeah.
The other thing I wanted to point out, she looks like Kate Sackhoff. She looks like Kate Sackhoff. Like any minute she's going to talk to me about the Cylons.
Oh God.
And so that was my first thought. I was like, Katie Sackhoff is in this? No way. I didn't know she was doing this. Like, that's where they got her and not like Hugh Jackman to do Wolverine or whatever. And then again, yet another Australian playing Wolverine, by the way. So
yeah,
apparently Canadians not so great at playing Canadians. Just so you know. We also have a problem with Superman being every like country and ethnicity other than American. So whatever, the ethnic background of an American, apparently. So whatever.
Well, then there's also the I don't know what you think about it, but like the outfit that Mystique is wearing here, it's like it's so bulky. I don't know. It just doesn't feel like Mystique to me.
Let's see if I get a good shot of it here. Yeah, it feels a lot like Scarlet from G.I. Joe.
Yes.
Like she's supposed to be like, and also wait a minute, hold on. Let's just wait a minute, she's got a robotic leg. You see that?
Yeah. Oh, I didn't notice that.
That's awkward. Makes you shapeshifting a little difficult, doesn't it?
Yeah, I wonder how that's gonna work. So yeah.
But hold on. Is it mechanical? It's not mechanical when she's okay. See, that was a fake mechanical. So apparently Mystique can also generate metal. I thought she could just generate people parts. Apparently she can generate.
She could do animal
metal?
parts too, but metal, it was something like, really?
Apparently she could generate metal because that's a full-on prosthetic there that she has transmogrified her leg into. And you can watch it transform as she... Oops, going the wrong way. You can watch it transform. See, there it is. And then her big old booty's getting wrapped up in the scaly parts because apparently her clothes are also her skin. And there's a regular leg now. See?
Well, I mean, to be fair, in the other iterations of X-Men, she's wearing like a white crop top and like a white skirt.
Yeah. Anyway, I'm having fun. But, okay. Yeah. Anyway,
You're having way too much fun with that.
they only made one frame. They made this whole action one frame. How could I not have fun with that? Anyway, fatality. But so when we're looking at this, like I didn't notice that before. Now I have even more questions. Like, how does Mystique do that? Like, I didn't realize. Then how is Magneto not able to rip her apart by accident? Because she's obviously able to make metal, so there's some metal in her. I mean, I gather that like she's able to make belt buckles, I guess, but I mean, what? What is she even? Like, that's not even a shapeshifter. That's Helen. That's just pure eldritch horror at that point. It's not even a reality obeying creature. Where
She
the
doesn't obey
Terminator
reality
can't even do
anyway.
this shit. Yeah, the Terminator can't even do this shit. Is Mystique the Terminator? Is that what we're gonna find out?
Maybe.
But,
That's just way too much clothing on Mystique. That was my issue.
Nerdigans likes her blue women naked. But you're right. I mean, I would honestly prefer her to be in her trademark low cut onesie with the weirdo crotch drapey thing and the bone belt. But again, this is another thing where they're like, I can't take this superhero thing seriously because it doesn't look like it should. Like, how could she be a ninja and do all the assassinations when she's not wearing body armor and like pouches to carry around her assassin stuff?
I have to deal with this in the board with the Taurus and the Boruto fandom that went after Sarada because she was wearing like a short bodysuit, bodysuit with shorts, and it was strapless with a jacket, and she's fighting in heels, and they're like, how can you fight in heels? And it's like, dude, she's wearing a wide heel. It's not a stiletto. It's a wide heel. Like most women can run in those kind of heels and kick ass in those kind of heels. So if you want to bring the realistic angle in there, then yeah. And then they're like, I've seen these people call Sarada like a slut and a whore. And I'm just like, dude, have you not been around like teenagers before?
So Sakramita says they hate fantasy. That's what it is.
They do.
Like, yeah, it's true. They can't stand the idea of a beautiful woman being able to do all of this without being covered in, body armor and grenade packs and all other jazz. I mean, feel how you like about it, obviously, because there's some people that obviously are going to be like, yeah, I like Mystique in the bodysuit. I like that a lot. They're going to think that, obviously, kind of like with Samus. They like that with Samus. But I agree with you that this is not how the Mystique that we are familiar with would behave. But again, this is obviously not the same one because she's able to transform into metal.
Here,
So
let me pull up.
Still beside myself on that one.
I'm going to pull up the design for Sarada because I want you guys to understand that these people think this design means that she's a whore and that she can't, and that ninjas can't run with heels. And it's like, dude, those are wide heels. It's not a stiletto.
No, those are those wedge heels, right?
No, wedge heels is if the heel is connected. If it's it's like a wedge is like one big piece. These are just these are more of like it's kind of more of a boot than anything else, an open toe boot.
Oh.
Knock it off, Zeno.
That's the point of a boot.
but
there's
yeah,
your proof, fellas. I'm not gay, so I don't know my wedges from my heels. So,
but yeah, they think like these people that are saying that Mystique needs to have armor, that you can't fight she can't realistically fight in the outfit that she wears typically. These are the same people that are saying that a ninja can't fight in this outfit, which is a little BS for one thing, and that teenage girls don't wear this kind of outfit. It's like, dude, I was in the Hot Topic era, but before Hot Topic had Twilight crap up in there. There's plenty of clothes for teenagers that teenage girls would totally wear. Like this is more of like a Japanese. I want to say this is. Someone said it was like more K-pop inspired, but to me, when I look at this design, I'm like, God, I can't help but think of like the alternative fashion in the 2000s. That's what I think when I see this.
The 70s had these too. These bodysuits that didn't have shoulders and were kind of like shorts. Yeah.
Yeah,
belt in the middle.
Yeah, up in the roller rinks, they would wear this. Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Oh, ninjas can't fight. If we really are going in real life with it, they weren't really the fighters. It's true. They were very. I love the video of like comparing what Naruto thinks ninjaing is like to what real life ninjas was, and it's just a guy like hiding behind a tree. He's like throwing rocks, and he's like over there, you know, and then he runs the opposite direction. It's like what real life ninja was like. But I do want to point out this. We were talking about what the problem is with the Wolverine game on its face. Wolverine, like Superman, is a character that does not stay down long. It's a character that is not going to be overwhelmed, and if you do manage to kill them, it takes an immense amount of effort. It's not going to be a henchman waiting around the corner, okay? So therein lies the big problem with trying to make a true-to-life, if you will, compelling Wolverine and or Superman game. Now, I bring up Superman because we've heard that Rockstar, or I think it's Rockstar,
all right,
was
Rocksteady, you mean?
Rocksteady, okay. Was trying to develop a kind of Arkham-style Superman game in which you were playing a very immersive Superman game, and that was not very easy. So, likewise, Wolverine is a very difficult character to create a compelling gameplay experience for. I played the hell out of the GameCube game for Wolverine. I think it was just
are you talking about Origins?
Origins, yeah. It had the Wendigo in it, and I played the shit out of that game, but like one of the things it had was, of course, the med packs. You run into things, and they were treated more like energy ups. Really, they weren't treated like restoring Wolverine's health. You know, they were just more like energy ups for you because you had a stamina meter, I think.
Yeah.
And so that was how they got around Wolverine not being able to fight. And I think the thing was is he'd like pass out if you ran out of stamina. He'd pass out and the level would reset. So like. Wolverine would kill people so hard he'd get all tuckered out and take a nap. You know? It was a better mechanic than having him just fucking die. So I like that. I hope that this game is smarter about it. Like, you know how in a lot of I think it's Modern Warfare where you go to the gulag and you have to fight your way out?
Yeah, I think it's Modern Warfare.
Yeah, I hope there's like something like that in this where like when you like die as Wolverine, you're captured by the Reavers. If you don't know who the guys are in this, they're the Reavers, obviously. But you get captured by the Reavers and you're like, you got to fight your way out of them and then you can resume the level where you left off. You got to fight your way out of the gulag that way, yeah. You know? That would be very much a neater way to handle him being incapacitated than you die. You know?
Yeah.
So, although they could do a funny thing like they did with the Deadpool game and just have Wolverine fucking die and then Lady Death being like, hold on. You're one of the ones that's never supposed to be here. Go back. You know? You're apparently lost, Logan Howlett. You're not supposed to be here. They could do that. That would be very Marvel meta that they do these days to have Lady Death show up and tell Wolverine to go back. We don't want any. There's no vacancy. Every time you die, you get revived by Kevin Feige. Yeah, you become an increasingly less effective Wolverine over time. So you have to restart the game.
Oh my god.
Eventually, there's just a scene of you walking the streets with you carrying your boots.
Oh my god.
Logan, what happened? She-Hulk happened, Bob. I regret it. But you know what is not a regret? Spy X Family is another one that the world needs more of, and I hope that comes to take over the Western world too. So we have Spy X Family Season 3.
Yep, and this I'm actually going to cover this one. I didn't cover the previous two because this season is going to adapt Lloyd's backstory, and if you've read the manga, you know what I'm talking about. It's so powerful. So I can't wait to see how it's going to be adapted. And I know from what I saw in the
worldwide, not because I want to see an anime supremacy or whatever. It's because it portrays a modern family doing modern things. Yeah, you have to be super spies. These assholes make it work, and they're super spies. You just have to go to work. How hard is it?
Apparently, really hard.
Well, it's one of those things where, like, I talk to people about this, and time again, it comes back to trust. And what do Lloyd and York
do as well as it could have, because Crunchyroll was in charge of the marketing at the time. Sony,
naturally.
If Code White came out now, especially with Sony Pictures in control of marketing, I think it would have done a lot better.
So Spencer says, dude, you hit
hold
the
on
nail
a
on
sec.
the
I'll be back because my cat's being really fussy.
Yeah, check on him. Yeah. Good luck. Poor little guy. It's Zeno knows we're live, so it's time to get attention. You know how it goes. So Spencer says, dude, you hit the nail on the head. We were involved with these technologies. We helped shape the culture, and then everyone came in and shit on everything. Well, yeah. I mean, it's nerd fatigue, but also their culture has never experienced a time when the anime was isolated. They grew up with it being just there on Netflix. Mom and dad turned it on. They're like, oh, I watched Metabots when I was your age. Here, watch Metabots. And that was how they got it. For us, we had to seek this stuff out. It wasn't regularly available. A lot of the times you had to wait till Saturday to have this stuff come on WB or Fox Kids, you know? So that's kind of what happened here, is that they experience anime vastly different than we do. We're still in this stage of it being this novel thing. Like, oh, the Japanese are so unique in the way that they do things. For them, this is just another candy bar on the shelf. It happens to be in another language. You know? And it's really hard to deal with, kind of like how they've had the internet the whole time. And for us, it was like this wild frontier. For them, it's just another social space. So, yeah, modern families spying on each other with smartphones. Yep. Well, again, you got it. You know, that's how they go. It was and it ran a very short time. Exactly. Spy X Family did not last very long. Code White did not last very long. And again, it was another one that might get another chance, you know? Might get another chance.
If it gets another movie, then yeah, I'd say it does have a chance, because Sony Pictures, I believe, would be in charge of it. It's either Sony or Toho, but I think it's Sony would be in charge.
Sony Yoho.
Sony Yoho.
But
we'll see.
Speaking of second chances, Rockstar co-founder Dan Houser says Bully 2 never happened because of bandwidth issues. Quote, if you got a small lead creative team and a small leadership crew, you just can't do all the projects that you want. So I believe it. I mean, it's not that Bully's bad or anything. It just was sort of there. It was a game. It worked well. It did its thing. And yeah.
I don't think it could be made now. I don't think it could, because of how soft society is.
It would be like what happened with Skate, because Skate's apparently quite sanitized now. So they'd have to wipe it down in order to make sure that, like, yeah, you can still bully people, but you have to bully them because they're on the wrong side of history or something.
Oh my God.
You know, it's just all catchphrases. You know, that's all it is. It's just all catchphrases and meaningless catchphrases. It's not attached to any real world politics. It's just meaningless catchphrases to annoy people into rage baiting. That's what the new Bully game would be. It would just be rage baiting people constantly. You remember Dustborn with its menu of how to manipulate people? That's what the Bully menu would be, is manipulating people into rage baiting.
I could see that. Bully, modern Bully would be rage baiting and flaming up other people's comment sections.
Yep. You're just walking around town. Getting people's Instagram IDs and then just fucking with them on their accounts, just saying the stupidest shit to them on their account. That's the Bully game. You just walk around and you take selfies out in front of people's houses, like, all right, mate, come on outside, prove you're a man, eh?
Yeah, I could see it.
Yeah, oh no, you're Logan Paul. You're just Logan Paul. That's
you're just Logan Paul or Mr. Beast.
Yeah, it's Logan Paul Simulator. that's a bully
Not
too.
Logan
is
Paul
Logan-
Simulator.
And your game opens up with Walmart. He gave an interview after that, and he's like, everybody was so excited. They were all cheering. They wanted something. I couldn't think of anything. So I just shouted Walmart at the top of my lungs, and everybody loved it. It became like a catchphrase for an entire year. It was a whole year of people just yelling Walmart at each other.
The fuck is wrong with people?
Jake Paul.
Jake
all goes
Paul, of
back.
course.
All roads lead to Jake Paul. But speaking of all roads, we have another season 3 announced. Now, if you're not down with Blue Lock's animation, I've got bad news for you. There's a whole new season of it.
Yep, the Blue Lock has a season 3, and it's also getting a live action adaptation. And
Are they going to cut frames out of that too?
Now I gotta wonder if Blue Lock's live action adaptation will be like a Kingdom situation where the live action is better than the anime adaptation.
Well, it'll be better animated, that's for sure.
Yeah.
But then again, who knows? They might just do what they did with Shaolin Soccer and do all those ridiculous slow motion shots.
Oh my god, I can see that happening. I can see that happening. I could see them doing like a bunch of slow mo.
I am curious though to find out how a live action anime soccer themed movie would do here in the US with, of course, the Japanese producing. So it's a curious thing because soccer's always been a little bit one of those, oh, you're into soccer, that's unfortunate. You know, it's been one of those things because we have American football, you know, our rugby, but with bumpers, you know.
Yeah, south of the border, it will be very popular, obviously.
Of course, you know, and everywhere else but America, soccer is a very big place. It's a very big thing. Zeno apparently does not like soccer.
You don't like soccer, do you, Zeno? See?
Apparently not. So he's an all football cat, apparently.
Yes, he's an
American
NFL cat.
Hand egg, if you will. And so we have that coming out. And that's extraordinary good news. I don't think I was sharing that. There we go.
No.
Whoops, sorry. I was distracted by the cat. That'll be my excuse. So, as you can see right here, it's nice and green for Blue Lock. Makes perfect sense. But anyway, one thing about this anime that's been curious to me, aside from the animation style, is the soundtrack. Every now and then you get an anime that just has a, I don't know, I'm trying to remember which one really suffered from having a shitty soundtrack that was flat. I think it was like Witch Hunter Robin. Like it really, the music in that was just so blah, no energy. It was just blah. And so I think Witch Hunter Robin was like the one that had a really hard time getting the hype up in the episode because the hype music was always like very, I don't know, I think like emo. It's not like Evanescence, but it was like techno emo or something like that. I don't remember if that was a thing or not, but probably.
There's a genre for everything.
But that's my problem with Blue Lock is that the music, aside from like, of course, the main theme when they're playing that through, of course, but like Blue Lock just has like it feels so bland. Like you would go ahead and listen to like any random song from My Hero Academia and then listen to any random song from Blue Lock. One of those will have you on your feet ready to punch a hole through a wall, and the other one will have you ready to drink some warm milk and go to bed. And they're both meant to be like the hype moments, you know, it's weird. We do have I think this one's more telling than anything else. I don't know if I should be happy about this or like it's a sign. It's a sign
that Marvel is dying.
It's a sign that the Simpsons are also dying. Like, we got to get one more movie out of them, fellas, before they start dying off of old age. So, poor Marge, that lady, she doesn't have a voice anymore. And, can't imagine. Gosh. And so, there's a new Simpsons movie, and it's coming out July 23rd, 2027. The second Simpsons movie to hit the screen will fill a date for Disney that's simultaneously being vacated by an untitled Marvel movie. We all know it's Blade. Okay? They're finally giving up, and they said, nope, we're not doing Blade. That ain't happening.
I wouldn't be
Mahershala
surprised.
is like, I've been at this for 4 years, waiting to do anything. You haven't even given me a costume. And that's that. I think they're finally throwing in a towel and be like, fine, Wesley Snipes, you will be the only Blade. So that's cool. Mm.
I mean, it's 20 years after the original one came out.
The
Original Simpsons
yeah, totally.
movie. I like the Simpsons movie.
Well, yeah, that was funny. That one was funny. I barely remember a minute of it though. So, but yeah,
You don't remember Spider Pig?
not really. I think I remember the meme of Spider Pig more than I remember the scene. You know,
I
this
love that scene.
Harry Plopper is the one that stuck in my head.
I remember that shit was funny too. It's no longer Spider Pig. He's Harry Plopper.
And then there were the giant Eskimo boobs that pointed Homer home or something. I don't remember.
Oh
the
yeah,
shadow
that was
from the
that
Eskimo
was
lady's
funny
boobs.
too. And then
But
there
yeah,
was
and
when
then
they
Bart-
jumped the canyon. Or the
Bart was
gorge or
on like
whatnot.
some kind of acid trip or something like that. I forget what it was.
Yeah.
The I don't know what they're going to do because the biggest problem with the Simpsons is they've done everything. So my best bet would be like it's a Treehouse of Horror, but you know, of vacated Fox properties, and they just follow the Deadpool Wolverine method of look at all these things you can't interact with anymore, and they have, you know, the 24 guy, Matt Bauer,
Yeah.
and he's like their Johnny Blaze, you know. So I don't know. It's the only thing I can really think of because the Simpsons I don't know if they really have like an adventure, like a family style adventure really to tell, because that's like every episode. You know, so apart
It's
from like a
not-
road
yeah.
trip, I guess. Right?
It's not like South Park where they could do just anything for a movie.
Yeah.
I mean,
Homer
they have
doesn't
the
fight
COVID
Satan.
specials.
Yeah, Homer
No.
doesn't fight Satan. Saddam Hussein doesn't find his way into Springfield too often. So it's one of those things where, like, in the context of what the Simpsons get up to, what can they do? Are you just going to rip them out and just have them go on a wild multiverse adventure? I mean, they already had them meet up with Family Guy, so it's not like that's crazy.
I think they met up with Futurama too.
I don't know how they couldn't. Matt
Yeah, they had the
Groening is
crossover.
like the father of both of those. So
Yeah.
that's the only thing I can really think of is like they have to go to another setting because I don't really think there's any story to tell in Springfield anymore. Every episode is a story to tell in Springfield.
Well, I mean, for the movie, they left Springfield and went to Alaska.
Right. So I don't know where they go now. You know, it's not like England somewhere you want to try to have a comedic family vacation.
No.
Maybe China though. That probably would be funny. Homer in China. But I think they would like get really close to some racism accusations. So
I mean, they've already had racism accusations too, remember?
yeah, because of the Apu thing. So I guess they could be like The Simpsons too. Where are you, Apu? And make the title rhyme. You know,
Oh my God, that'd be freaking hilarious.
Simpsons 2, The Origins of Apu.
Oh my God.
You know,
The origins of a poo.
it all started with Mountain Dew Dirty.
Oh my God. I'll start with that and do dirty. That's freaking dumb.
Yep. Are you going to pay for that? But what's new with you, Apu? That's right. The Simpsons 2. What's new with you, Apu?
We're gonna have to solve that mystery. Not the Scooby Doo.
Yeah, right. They could just I guess that's what they could do. They could do a Treehouse of Horror movie. That would be probably the thing they could do is like Scooby-Dooify the Simpsons for a Halloween movie. That would probably work. The Treehouse of Terror always works, right? It's terror. That's what it is.
It's Treehouse
Right.
of Horrors.
Okay. So Yeah, so you know, you can get away with that. That always works. I don't think there's ever been a dud of those. Those have always been hits.
Yeah, I mean, there was
So,
the Death Note episode that was really good.
yeah. Oh, I guess they could parody anime where like they go to an anime convention and get really into it, you know? That would be fun, I guess. Homer running around with like a cloud strife wig on.
That would be actually pretty hilarious.
Marge, you're never gonna believe it. I met a guy. He's got all 7 Dragon Balls. We're gonna wish for beer.
I could see that.
Right, that's the Tournament of Power.
The power. No.
It's Hank Hill and Peter Griffin and Homer Simpson and Bob's Burgers Bob, and they're all gonna fight, decide who gets to order the beer with Dragon Balls. They're all gonna order the beer. There's no question about it. They're just all fighting over who gets to order the beer.
Oh my god.
So we've been talking about My Hero Academia for a little while now, and they do have the final season now.
Yep,
All
and
right.
there's a character trailer that came out for Deku. Let me just find it real quick because I just saw it. And the other thing that I just remember too that we need to talk about is the EA situation. The Saudis basically own EA now.
Oh, I was gonna ask you which EA situation.
I know there's so many, right? Let me just.
Well, the Saudis are rapidly buying up a great deal of, I wouldn't say foundational American media, but definitely popular American media. Let's put it that way. They almost bought Star Wars about 3 years ago. Now, I don't know about Muslim Luke Skywalker. That seems pretty, you know.
There's the
Imam
character trailer
Obi-Wan
for-
Kenobi, you know?
So I just,
Luke, you cannot kiss her. This is haram. You cannot kiss her, Luke. It's haram. I don't work for infidels, kid. You understand? I don't work for infidels.
But for My Hero Academia's final season, Horikoshi did say that there's going to be additional content for the anime, and that's probably the only reason why I'm going to watch is for the additional content. I know it's weird, but
yeah, I don't really know why everybody hates Deku, but I get it. I mean, he's annoying because he's a bit stagnant. I understand. He's atypical shonen character. Yes.
I think Koichi's better than Deku personally.
Well, sure. I mean, but I think Deku plays the purpose he's created for very well. He's meant to be the kid that didn't have any confidence and struggles holding on to that confidence once he finally learns what it feels like. And a lot of kids probably experience that, especially male kids right now. I mean, I don't know what it's like to be a little girl, but for guys, you get shit on a lot. You get shit on a lot. So Deku is like kind of emblematic of that. Like, yeah, you know what? I guess I am shit. I guess I am a loser. You're right. Wait, never mind. I'm the protagonist, you know? And I don't know. I feel like that's...
Koichi's the same way, though. Like, he is the same way, but he's just better written, in my opinion, in terms of, like, character development, because he had his quirk suppressed by his mother, which is really messed up, but she was trying to save him from, like, flying out the window. And as you know, the story goes on, and as Koichi builds more confidence, he gets more of his quirk, and it's really interesting. That's why I'm like, I feel like what Koichi is what Deku wants to be, in a way. And the thing is with Horikoshi, if you've read Boku no Hero Academia, you know that Horikoshi loves writing anti-heroes and villains. You could tell when you get to the Todoriki family, for example. But when it comes to heroes, though, that's where it's a little bit stagnant. You can tell that he's kind of struggling to figure out how he's gonna, write the hero characters.
Yeah, no, sorry, I was taking a drink.
Yeah, it's okay.
Horikoshi, the thing that always sticks out with his writing style for me is that he wants to write horror.
Oh yeah, he does.
He definitely prefers being in the tension than he prefers being in the resolution. One of the problems that I have with his writing is he always just really gives it the worst to the women. All the female characters that met their demise or were injured in the line of duty got it the worst. Like the male characters may have died, but man, like the way that Lady Midnight went out was, holy shit, that was still fucking bothers me. Man, and then that near death experience with, forgot her name, the bunny woman, but you don't worry about it. Mirako.
It's Mirako.
Yeah, I mean that where she lost her leg and everything, and it's just like Horikoshi, man, he just gives it to the women the hardest, and it's so, I don't know, it's disturbing. It bothers me. That's my two gripes with Horikoshi's thing is he prefers to be in the tension and resolution, and the women always get like the worst death. So, like Lady Midnight was literally tore apart, abused to death by the villains in the forest. That is literally what's implied in that entire scene, is that they came upon her and had their way with her and then killed her. Like that's intense. Okay.
Yeah,
for like
it is intense.
A shonen manga. All right. And that happened off screen. That wasn't Mirako having her leg severed off panel by panel.
Well, I mean, like if you look at, I gotta keep bringing vigilantes into this because you look at like, say, what happens to Pop near the end, or in the final arc when she gets Queen Bee. She gets the Queen Bee ability, and what they have to do to like get it out of her is insane. I mean, we saw it with Knuckle Duster's daughter as well. Like he had to like literally kill her so the bees would leave her and then bring her back to life.
Yeah, that seems about right. But, you know, as we've discussed about it, it's all coming to an end. Vigilantes, of course, is going to keep on telling its story. And as Nerdigans has kept us aware of, it is unique against the My Hero Academia main story. So it's worth watching because it's not another rehashing of What If Deku, but different. So
yeah, this is a prequel. This takes place like when All Might is still at his prime.
Right. And so again, these are characters that are operating outside of that, which makes their story different from how Deku's went. So it's again, like I said, it's worth checking out versus what's going on in the main series. If the main series is a bit too fluffy for you. So, and again, it definitely suffers from that. Nobody's going to tell you otherwise. It definitely suffers from being too fluffy at times. So, and again, I'm telling you as somebody that complained about Horikoshi's horror writing. So it does get a little too fluffy.
Ooh, so according to this article I'm looking at, Chainsaw Man the movie Rise arc surpasses 2.9 billion yen in just 10 days. It's coming after Demon Slayer.
It's so strange to hear that like those are in competition, and it's not like Spider-Man and Wolverine, and it's so surreal, man. So surreal.
It is surreal. I agree. It just blows my mind that it's, you know what? In the case of Chainsaw Man, I'm not surprised because of the interviews I've seen with the director that took over, Tatsuya. He directs like Black Clover as well, and he straight up said that he wanted the character designs to look like Fujimoto's art, and he tried to stay true to it. That was his whole goal, was to have for this adaptation for it to stay as true to the source material as possible. So it's not like the realistic, what is it? It's not on the like realism, borderline live action side of the art spectrum. No, he brought it back more towards like surrealism, which is what Fujimoto's art is in Chainsaw Man. It's very surreal.
Yeah. So again, we'll be seeing a lot of diverse, if you prefer the term, presentations. Whereas like people have in the past have complained that anime looks too much alike. You're definitely not going to be getting that with the selection that's in competition right now with itself. So between the two headliners that Nerdigans talking about, of course, the Chainsaw Man and Demon Slayer, these are not, they both do not follow the derivative anime visuals, and B, they both have very distinct visual styles. So this isn't going to be a cop-out where they can say, oh, it's just one of those anime things. They all have big eyes and it looks stupid, because they don't do that. They're not your atypical cookie cutter kind of stuff. when I say that, I think of Sword Art Online characters. It is nothing against Sword Art Online, but they had like the most anime-looking anime characters, in my opinion. Like you look at Sword Art Online characters, like that's a fucking anime. You can't mistake that for anything else.
It's very true.
But
the other thing is with Chainsaw Man, I don't know what the rating is over in Japan, but like as I said here, it's going to be rated R. Demon Slayer is rated PG-13.
Well, it is shonen at its core, and Chainsaw Man is seinen. It's a bit bloody.
Seinen. Yeah, it's more on the seinen side of this. It's like shonen and seinen, like a borderline.
Yeah, young adult, more young than adult, but still adult.
Yes.
Yeah, and so that I think that's probably fair that Demon Slayer, because again, there's a lot of blood in Demon Slayer, don't get me wrong, but it's really not any more than you find in a standard Dragon Ball Z episode. So, however, with Chainsaw Man, the feature is all the exploding blood. So,
well, there's also like more sexual stuff in Chainsaw Man than in Demon Slayer.
Oh, definitely. That's
his goal. That's Denji's goal, is to get laid.
Right. So it's it's obviously going to have a very different rating on it than Demon Slayer will, because Demon Slayer is just it's doing its shonen thing. Pretty well. Don't get me wrong. I'm not trying to shit on it or anything, but it's a shonen, and so that's why it gets a PG-13 rating, whereas Chainsaw Man will probably get an R, at least NC-17.
Yeah, it's R. It's not NC-17. It's R. They announced it a while ago. They said it was going to be rated R.
Yep. So that makes sense. But I do want to bring up this one that's going on. Meanwhile, on the other side of this whole experience of anime coming out, we do have a Studio Eclipse making a alternative ending to Attack on Titan. It was titled...
I know it got shut down, but I tried to find information on this story and there's nothing. So I think that is fake. That is actually fake. But I know that Kodansha went after this project a while ago, and it's the same thing with Studio Gaga and Berserk, because they were doing that too. But yeah, I did not see anything about a lawsuit. I searched on Bing and Google, nothing.
The issue is that so I speak at this from like the experience of like generating the AI content that I do for Power Rangers and stuff. As people have become better at copying the styles of these anime studios, the corporations feel more threatened by these fan projects. They're not fun little Newgrounds animations anymore. These are rapidly approaching corporate level animation, in some cases superior to it. And so it creates for the corporation, they don't see that as flattering. And that's the hardest thing about this, is that when you outshine the corporation with what they're doing, they tend to want to destroy whatever you've created very quickly. So,
but also something we should talk about too at some point is about Spencer's article about how Crunchyroll president Raul Perini came out about Demon Slayer, and I'm just when I saw this story, I was just like, really, bro, you were against doing theatrical releases or like putting any effort into theatrical releases, and you're saying this now?
Yeah, he had to eat crow. Had to come out and admit, like, oopsies, that was us, that was me, I made that mistake, but now I'm on the bus with all of you smart people.
He also said, he said anime is no longer niche. It's like, dude,
right?
You said to The Verge that you were not going to get involved with theatrical stuff. You were going to focus more so on the streaming platform and other things. I can't remember the other crap off the top of my head, but he wasn't saying crap about doing marketing and doing theatrical releases. He's like, I'm not going to focus on that. I'm going to do all this stuff instead. And we're going to focus on not getting new fans in. We're just going to focus on the actual fans. I'm like, dude, you are so full of it. You are not even focusing on the actual fans. And also, I haven't sent the stuff about proposing about talking about Crunchyroll manga yet to Spencer, because I'm waiting to hear back from Crunchyroll to see if there was a simulpub program, because some of the titles that were listed in this were ongoing series, like One Piece, Yomi no Tsugai is another one, and I think those were the main two that I saw. That was very baffling to me. But yeah, for those of you that don't know about Crunchyroll's manga program, we've talked about before. Basically, Crunchyroll manga was Kodansha's simulpub program. Essentially, it was, and they obviously had Kodansha titles that were complete, and they also had simulpubs for series like Shangri-La Frontier. They had it for Tensei Shitara Slime Ken, like a lot of the series that you see on K-Manga. But at some point, Kodansha was like, screw this. I have a feeling it has to do with how Crunchyroll was treating them. New management was treating them, obviously. That's according to the whistleblowers anyway. That's what I'm going off of. We're going to just do our own thing instead. And now, like within, I want to say less than a year after Kodansha left, Crunchyroll manga is shut down. And now apparently it's making a comeback, and I'm just like, really? So are you going to have a simulpub program? Because if that's so, they're competing with Manga Plus and what's the other one? And Shonen Jump. And then there's also, in the case of Square Enix, they have their stuff, their simulpubs on Global Up, I think it is. God, that's Square Enix's simulpub platform is freaking horrible. Oh my God, it's so bad. It really is. And that's why I asked them straight up if they're going to have the simulpub program back for Crunchyroll, because I would rather read like Yomi no Tsugai or like some other Square Enix manga chapters on, if it's the same reader as it was back then, on Crunchyroll manga than on Square Enix's crap app.
Yeah, well, you know, what a surprise, right? Square Enix half-assing a presentation. Who would have ever guessed?
Global Square Enix is just on another level of stupid. Oh my God.
Yeah. Oh well. But it is what it is. Again, like, we're living in a time now where it's become you know, it's tough to say. Like, undeniable, I guess. Anime has become undeniable. Like how Perini's admitted that it's no longer a niche. It's one of those mainstream things now. Yeah. It's one of those yeah.
It really does suck, to be honest, because now we have the tourism or we have the colonizing tourists. So people are saying, like, as I said with Sarda, certain people think that she's problematic because she is showing a lot of skin. The same thing happened with Famola. We talked about that last week. With Famola, like, I've seen so many people in the Dandadan fandom saying that they're happy with the censorship. And I'm like, really?
Yeah.
I'm looking at them like they're crazy. And this is coming from someone that covered Dandadan like before Viz got the license. I'm going to say it was like, I started covering it at chapter 16 and they got the license like around before chapter 25 or something like that. So yeah, so when I see these people like saying all this, I'm like, and I think I have one of them trying to come at me. I'm like, dude, I've been covering Dandadan longer than you've been a fan. So back off. I know what I'm talking about.
Yep. From the beginning.
From like the beginning. Like, I mean, I told people that it was right before Viz got the license. I said that Dandadan would be the next Jujutsu Kaisen. And I was right.
Oh well.
Oh
Right?
well. Yeah. It just
It's a-
the post-COVID fans are just on another
Oh,
level. Stupid.
tell me about it. Tell me about it.
Oh my
So
god.
I showed you guys that Power Rangers Hollow Earth intro at the beginning of the show. So I posted that in response to an announcement from the Legacy of Nerd. They were out here making a post about what's going on with the Disney Plus thing. So it says right here, Super Sentai confirms they're not involved with the Disney Plus Hulu Power Rangers reboot. Deadline spoke to Toei president and CEO Fumio Yoshimura, I believe, in April, where he confirmed that Toei Super Sentai are not involved in the development of the Disney Plus Power Rangers reboot. Okay, all right.
Mm-hmm.
So this made apparently everybody everywhere very, very angry. And so when I posted this, I said we could do this. Nothing against Super Sentai or Toei or anyone involved, but let's reset the Power Ranger clock and build up from day zero. Everybody hated that. There's like 18 likes, 77 quote tweets. I don't know what I did, but apparently I have holocausted the Power Rangers fandom. I am person non grata. They're going to come kill me in my sleep. I posted an AI video and I have literally broken every bone in their bodies and peed on their mothers. I don't understand. You want to talk about some brain dead hatred. Most of these people that are raging their heads off at me. Now, again, the quote tweets on this, like you see that 11 likes, check out a lot of these. They're getting like 100 or so likes on their like disses, like fuck this guy, this horrible stuff, AI slop shit, it's a violation of my human rights. Nobody forced you to watch it, dude. Abysmal dog shit. There's all these guys running around making all this shit, but check it out. You get all the way down here to the beginning of it. Eventually, look at this. Like it's an AI video, and I have literally murdered these people's parents in front of them. This is the most outrageous response. Like 1.3K over somebody taking a diss at me over this. Like a personal fucking attack. It is the weirdest fucking thing. So again, you want to talk about tourism, like they don't even fucking care. This isn't Super Sentai redubbed and having Americans acting over the Super Sentai parts. You should kill yourself. It goes from 0 to 100 with these fuckers. And I spent all day trying to explain to them, just do the research. Hasbro and Neo Saban have screwed up the brand so badly that most Americans don't recognize anything other than Mighty Morphin as a Power Ranger. The Red Ranger is literally a fucking Macy's Day Parade balloon. What the fuck? But these people can't get it through their, I don't know, nuclear bunker thick skulls that you have to start with Mighty Morphin because the market for 10 years has been trained that those are Power Rangers. Then you can do whatever you want after that point. But the brains are just too tiny. They've been banged around too much. Perhaps their moms were eating Tylenol like Takis when they were pregnant with them. There's some horrible thing has happened. These people can't seem to wrap their heads around the concept that, hey, the brand has been fucked up so badly, we have to go back to day zero and rebuild it. But again, like I said, 70,000 people have seen this fucking video. And the majority of them just have the most horrendous shit to say to me. The majority of them are like, it's AI. It's awful. I hate it. What's wrong with the concept? I don't know. I just hate the AI thing. It's hard and stupid. It's just like, it's a reflexive, allergic reaction to the AI. There's people like, why didn't you draw this out? Well, because you're going to come along and shit on it anyway. You're going to say, look at this motherfucker in his stupid art style. He didn't even draw the helmet at the right perspective. Lol, the boots are too small. Look at their tiny feet. His concept's retarded. You're still going to do the same thing, bro. The only thing you're going to do is be able to waste my fucking time doing that. All right? I'm getting very close to the point where I just stop making this content. I really am, because like it seems to be that these people come out of the woodwork and they want to, like, I was accused of being a pedophile today.
Welcome to my life. I get accused for being a pedophile because I'm standing up for lolly art because it's like it's art. Art is art. Don't bet you. Just like with AI, AI is very complicated. I know in terms of a debate, and I mean you're just doing it for fun. You're not like a certain other employee, a former employee slash coworker of ours that's doing it to make money. And I don't think people understand that.
Well, I got in an argument with somebody just before the show started. They were like, Hasbro should just keep making the show because people love it. No, it needs to make money. Well, it makes plenty of money. It makes less than $50 million. Well, they could still make a shoestring show on that. Why? Start there. Why would they do that? Why would they not seek to expand the brand to its former glory? These people just don't process it. They look at Super Sentai and they just go, well, how come Hasbro doesn't just dub it and re-air it in America? Well, because Hasbro wants to sell to 5 to 8-year-olds. I don't want them to. I want them to move to 8 to 14-year-olds, which is much more comfortable for the violence in Power Rangers. But these idiots just want the Sentai brought over. That's the biggest thing. If I had just said, why don't we just do Sentai? It would have been 1 billion likes. Because they did. Hasbro's not doing that, and they can't get it through their head that if they kick and scream hard enough, it's still not going to change anything. Hasbro has made the decisions. The contracts are gone. They're severed. They're over with. Toei has said there is no legal attachment to their Sentai brand to the Power Rangers brand any longer. They just said that in the post I was replying to right up here. That's a statement they made. They're not attached to it. First time this has ever happened, okay? That's clearly not enough for these doctors, scholars, brain surgeons. It's clearly not enough for them to understand you're not going to get your goddamn Sentai adaptations no more. It's too hard. It's too hard to wrap their heads around the fact that the Power Rangers are going to be homegrown now. Whether you like it, I like it, anybody else likes it, okay? That's where Hasbro has it. That's where I built the concept out of. But these people come along and they're like, I don't like this. Well, that means you're an evil person. Because if I don't like what you made, then, well, that means you're evil. So I have free license to say the most psychotic shit to you. This isn't even political. This is over Power Rangers. I get it when people are mad at me over politics. That's a perfectly fine realm to lose your shit in. All right? I get it. Okay? A lot of people feel pretty extreme about stuff these days. I understand. Power Rangers, though. I'm not so sure death threats are necessary over a minute-long video on X.com. So I'm getting to the point where I don't want to make the content anymore because people are responding violently to it. It's not just like, I don't like your concept. They don't even want to engage with the concept. It's made with AI. I have to be skinned alive in the public square.
The AI witch hunts have been real for a minute.
Apparently, by the way, it burns a gallon of water to generate things. If you follow that logic, how are the Chinese not literally turning the world into Tank Girl? Remember Tank Girl, where all the ocean was gone?
Yeah.
Yeah. There's over 1 billion Chinese. You can bet your ass at any given point, there's 100 million of them generating titty pics. Okay. So the ocean would be gone, baby. The ocean would be gone. We need to come back to logic land. Is the AI annoying? Sure, I'll give you that. It's the tool I have available to me. I'm not going to spend 6 hours, 12 days drawing up a neat storyboard for people like these assholes that have been quote tweeting me to come along and just shit all over it. That's a waste of time. I took an afternoon to build out this storyboard, to build out this presentation. Ta-da! That's it. So if people hate it, it gets under my skin only because I've spent more time on the plot. I've been trying to think toy first, then story, then visual. Whereas when I was writing for comics, You have to think about the story first, then the visual, then the merch. Because the story determines all of those things. But Power Rangers is a toy brand. It is meant to sell toys. So the very first thing you need to think of when you're constructing anything to do with the Power Rangers is, what toy does this sell? I can't get this through people's heads. I keep sending them the same tweet over and over again that explains Hasbro's not doing that shit. We've got to sell toys. We've got to make sure this appeals to a wider and more stable market than 5 to 8-year-olds. And they refuse to read it. I don't know if this has to do with the literacy rate in the United States. I don't know. I'm using the term disregard. And maybe that's too big of a word for these scholars and brain surgeons. Maybe that's too big for them. But it's just really, I've spent all day trying to explain this, and everyone comes along fresh out the fucking womb, just screaming and hollering at me about the AI. It's like, okay, ignore the AI, and then what's the problem with the concept? And they just keep on being very angry that I use the AI. It's like, okay.
That's all they care about. They only care about that you use the AI. They don't care about anything else.
Yep, that's it. It really is, because I keep trying to talk to them about it, but even when I challenged the accounts that went out and got over 1,000 likes off of making fun of me, I just said, hey, what's wrong with the concept? I'll see the little view counter, and there'll be like over 1,000 views on the post, not a single reply. They won't touch it because they're like, I don't want to watch your stupid AI video. I was told by my political superiors that AI is evil. So anyone who touches it is evil too, which gives me free license to destroy your life. Sorry. It's like, okay, we have a difference of opinion. I didn't wake up and say, God damn it, how do I steal from people today? I didn't do that. I said, you know what? I don't want to waste time on a concept that people are obviously going to wipe their ass on. So I'm just going to use the AI and I'll brute force a Power Rangers concept. And I did. And people are like, fuck you, you need to die. It's crazy. It's really crazy. I don't know how they get to the point to being that angry about the AI. I really don't. I've seen shitty generations. I've not said to myself, that person who made this should die. Not even when Elon was posting the weird ones where like the character was getting naked and shit, where Grok was like nakedifying the women. Even then, I wasn't like, that guy should be skinned for that. It was weird. It was really fucking creepy. But even then, I wasn't like, that guy should be skinned for that. And I just don't know how you get to the point where like, this medium, not even the media, the medium, meaning the AI itself being the presentation vehicle. The medium makes me so mad I want to murder you. It's not the subject matter. It's not the message within that subject matter. It is simply the fact that you are using oil paints, not watercolors. So I must kill you now.
They haven't ingrained. Well, the thing is, they haven't ingrained in them that AI is taking shit from real artists, and that AI is going to be like the death of all art. That's what they got ingrained in their minds.
Thanks, communism. Appreciate it. But I did not set out with the intention of stealing from anybody. In fact, it's quite the opposite. I was trying to alert people to how easy it is to just reset the clock and begin again with a story that's fresh for kids. That it's actually engaging with what they get up to rather than, remember back in 1995? Remember sending nudes and getting caught with it and slapping people in detention? No? You didn't have that teenagers with attitude experience in 2017? You know, that's what I'm trying to avoid. But these people, like I said, they just... One guy actually tried to engage with me about the suits, and when I explained to him, like, hey, by the way, every time Americans have had the chance to make Power Ranger suits, they've always put armor on them. Look at the fucking Titanium Ranger. What's he got? Shoulder armor. Whop, whop. Look at the movie armor. Look at the movies. They have armor on them. The Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, the movie, armor.
Yes.
Cosmic Fury, armor. That was the first thing they did, was give them weird little not boob armor, so that way the girls and the boys didn't look differently too much. So, because we can't have that. We can't have our boy Rangers and a girl Rangers look different, because that might be sexist. Somebody might think something about that. But that's the going problem, if you will, is that Hasbro is obviously going to come out with something Mighty Morphin related. They don't have a choice. Okay. They spent 10 years along with Neo Saban saying that Mighty Morphin is the face of the brand. So there's no way around that. It's going to be Mighty Morphin based. It might not be 5 teenagers with attitude in 1993, but it's definitely going to be a red Tyrannosaurus Ranger being the leader. There is no way around that. Where they go with that after that, I can't promise you, because people have raised holy old hell with me about using the Sentai aesthetic. You said that you didn't need the Sentai. I didn't. It doesn't say that anywhere in that post, in fact. But the thing is the Power Ranger now needs to look different than a Super Sentai hero for legal motherfucking purposes, not just because Americans think about battle armor differently than the Japanese do. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
But for legal reasons, a Power Ranger now needs to be distinct from a Super Sentai hero. And that means shit's gotta change. You can't have a guy running around in spandex and a helmet anymore. You gotta add a little bit more to it. Gotta have something different about him, or else that's a Super Sentai hero. And they're fucked. So, guess what's gonna happen? They're gonna get armor, guys. They're gonna get armor. And it's gonna be the big kind of armor that I gave these guys here. It's gonna be the chest armor and the shoulder armor. They're not gonna bother with thigh armor because there's no way to anchor that to the spandex. I thought this through. I did the research. I didn't just sit down and be like, oh, I can do it better than Hasbro. I sat down. I researched the market. I researched what we were trying to accomplish with all of this. Here's the big thing, and I talk about it on this program all the time. Everybody has an ad blocker. So what are you going to do with your brand new fancy Power Ranger concept that's got a brand new name? What are you going to do? You can hope people are searching Power Rangers just blindly enough and not their specific favorite seasons? Because I got news for you. People don't just search Power Rangers in Google. They have a specific destination in mind, okay? Kind of like how people just don't just search Pokemon randomly in Google, you know? I'll just search Pokemon today and see how many Wikipedia articles pop up on page 1. Nobody's doing that. They all have a specific tag on to that initial qualifier, okay? And so if you go creating your new Power Rangers, guess what? Nobody's gonna find it. Doesn't matter what you do, how many times you put it on the side of a fucking bus, how many times you pay YouTube for ad space. People pay YouTube to not see those ads. Ta-da! Yeah. So you are forced to deal with what people are searching. And because Hasbro and Neo Saban pushed Mighty Morphin so hard for 10 plus years, guess what people are searching? Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. So you have to start there. Then, when you have your new fan base, you can expand into something different. I wouldn't recommend it. I think there's plenty of room to just take the names and do something in the aesthetic, of course, like Zeo and Turbo and In Space, and just refit those with a more modern and, again, upgraded plot line for 8 to 14-year-olds. We're not dealing with swears. We're not dealing with sex. We're not dealing with blood, guts, gore. We're dealing with simply a Dragon Ball Z level plot line. You're not going to deal with, I'm here to get the Energems because that asshole got to him first. There's actual, like, stakes to it. You know how Cell arrived and he just wanted to prove he was the strongest, but he was an absolute psychopath about that? So that is the kind of stakes that should be applied to Power Rangers. That way the violence matches the plot. We're still stuck with having to water down the plot here in the United States, the language, the banter, all of it, because we're competing against Paw Patrol with Power Rangers, okay? That's the same age demo, guys. That's who's there now. Blaze and the Monster Machines, Paw Patrol, Peppa Pig. That's who occupies that space. Completely non-violent stories. Paw Patrol is, again, about natural disasters and people getting into their own mishaps, and the pups have to go save them. I used to work at an autistic school, preschool, and so I got exposed to a lot of this children's media, and so that's where I came into knowing about a lot of it. So And again, Blaze and the Monster Machines, all of their conflicts are resolved through clearing up a misunderstanding. There are characters who want to cheat. They cause problems because they are cheating. There are characters who are introduced. They either do not speak a coherent language or have forgotten a language and are able to remember it very rapidly once the conflict is resolved, whatever. And that's it. It was a dinosaur monster truck that had forgotten how to talk, and he was super mad. And so again, it's not, then you have Power Rangers come in, and if like every episode of Power Rangers, the resolution is we kill the monster. It literally explodes, screaming in agony. And then we laugh. And it's like, that's what you're following Paw Patrol up with. Like, we're going to use our Paw Patrol power. I don't know what they do anymore. We're going to go save the day as pups, And then Blaze and the Monster Machines are just like, let's blaze it. And you have to not laugh when they shout that out loud because it means entirely something different after you're 18. So.
Oh, I forgot before, since we are talking about AI, you heard about the AI actress, right?
Yes. Yeah, she was getting around.
Yeah, so apparently the creator of the AI actress said that the aspiring actress AI-generated Tilly Norwood has already attracted attention from multiple talent agencies. I swear, we are living in pixel perfect.
Sure. Well, and so this was a neat thing, like on the topic of the AI actors. So I'll turn off the sound here, but just watch their names, okay? So it'll just take a second. They'll pop up. Look at their names. Aiden Isaev, Alton Ilves, Alex Iverson, Aaron Irvine, Ayla Irons, Alyssa Instone. Gee, what do all those initials spell? Oh yeah, AI. I made no attempt to try and hide this. The only thing I didn't do was stick a big old made with AI up in the corner. I guess I'm going to have to, but even then it'll probably get people trying to firebomb my house. So it's one of those things where like, I don't remember an art style. Oh, no, there still wasn't one.
CGI. Hold on a second. Let's be real. When CGI started, everybody was hating CGI.
Really? Because I don't remember Toy Story being...
Not Toy Story. Like, it wasn't... Well, Toy Story was the one that started it all. But, like, I'm talking about, like, when, for example, specifically when anime started using CGI, that's when people were really turned against it. Yeah,
I understand that. It was really choppy there. I forget which one it was like the worst one that came to America, but I remember one of the Gundam series was just god-awful because of it. I think Unicorn suffered the most of it because it's just an ungodly amount of CGI in that one. But yeah, it's just one of those things. It really surprised me because ordinarily these posts don't go anywhere. They just kind of nobody bothers, but for whatever reason, this got grabbed up and everybody and their brother decided, hey, this is a free dunk opportunity. I'm not going to bother to engage with what this content is. I'm just going to decide I hate it and tell everybody else to hate it. And apparently that's how it works now. I had no idea. I see why Hasbro is very hesitant about doing anything with this brand because, this is a good chance that like somebody's going to send like one of those potato bombs to their offices if they like don't nail the Yellow Ranger's skirt or lack of the right way.
Yeah.
I've never seen it. I never have. I've never, again, outside of politics, I have never witnessed this kind of like, you are absolutely invalid because of the medium you chose. It's crazy. It's like you say though, Nerdigans, they've been told that this is the end all be all, that creativity will die if you give any type of leeway to AI. So,
but like,
it is what it is.
As I said, there's a difference between like using AI to make a profit and then just using AI for fun. And I don't think these people like understand the difference. Well, let's be real. These people probably can't separate fiction from reality.
Well, they're screaming. They keep replying to me saying, use a pencil, use a pencil. Okay. I will sit down and take 12 days to do this. Okay. And they're still going to come along and shit on it. They're going to shit on it because it's hand-drawn and that I didn't go find people to build costumes and a set and do it the right way. Because again, they're not interested in engaging in the conversation. They're interested in getting a dunk. It's all about clout. It has nothing to do with the Power Rangers and everything to do with, look at this idiot, give me attention. It's like outside of politics, it's just a new sensation. I've never witnessed this kind of like animalistic hatred that just snaps on somebody. But I don't know. It's a sign of the times, I guess, Nerdigans. I'm getting old. It's like those old guys that still running around dropping a casual, FAG.
Yeah.
Just randomly dropping that. Like no impetus for that. They just drop it as casual thing, They drop an FAG.
Yeah.
It's like those guys. I'm starting to feel dated like that, but I'm not using any slurs.
I know.
I'm just using AI, and apparently it's just as bad. I probably wouldn't have gotten in as much trouble if I just dropped a hard R, It seems like this is worse than even saying the hard R.
I don't like that you're using hard R either. That's just so cringy. I mean,
what am I supposed to do? Jacob's not here. I don't have. This is a quick way to get fired, Miss Nerdigans.
That is. At least you're not saying like Alpha Chad or Riz or anything like that, like we're seeing in the A Couple of Cuckoos dub. Oh my god, that thing is just horrible. Is probably one of the worst dubs I've had to ever go through. And I had to go through Lovely Complex.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
It's
really it's all part of that greater network of like midwits. I keep hearing the term midwit, and I'm a country mouse, so I've never heard. I don't get around the city folk who want to judge people for being different, I guess. So I never heard the term midwit. So when I searched it, I was like, oh, well, that makes sense. These are people who are just educated enough to sound like idiots. They get themselves neck deep in these situations. So I forget who was talking about this. I was listening to it while I was working in the garage on Saturday. And I don't know, but they were mentioning like there are people who get super specialized in civil engineering and use that as their dunk. It's like, you don't know civil engineering like I do, bro. Like, don't bother. Like, back down. You will never. Like, that's their ace in the hole in any argument. Like, they bring up civil engineering and they've got you. It's a trap card. And it's like, no, yeah, that's right. And so that's what I'm dealing with here is a bunch of people that are like, I saw somebody draw Power Rangers really good, so you should waste 12 days of your life drawing all this up so I can still shit on it because you didn't do it the way I wanted it done. See, I wrote fan fiction for 15 plus years about Power Rangers. Not like only Power Rangers, but for those 15 years, the majority of it, the vast majority was Power Rangers. Okay? I know what they're going to do. I watched it. Countless times. It didn't matter what I did. There were always a contingent of 10 to 15 people in the reviews that lost their tiny little marbles because I didn't do what they wanted with the character. It could have been any character. Their character in particular. I remember I wrote Dino Thunder SPD team up, another time travel one, where it was more of them in the future. And because I didn't pair Kira with Jack, I didn't do somebody's ship. Like, that was weeks of that guy just coming back to the review thread and just replying to himself, calling me everything under the sun. That was his entire life, was Kira and Jack. And because I didn't fulfill it in a fanfic just randomly on fanfiction.net. Like, I didn't send this to this guy's fucking house. He found it on his own and decided that it ruined his life.
That sounds like the My Hero Academia shippers. The Yaoi and Yuri shippers.
The Bakugo Deco kids are absolutely sick in the head, man. It's not because of that pairing. It's that they are just so fixated on it.
Mm-hmm. Then you got the same people trying to say Nobara in Jujutsu Kaisen is a lesbian. And it's like, no, she's not.
For fuck's sake.
And
there are some straight people in the world, believe it or not. There are some. Some of us are out here, and we're not really hurting anybody. So please,
I would say like Western Fujoshi and Himiyoshi, which is Yuri, basically a Yuri Tard in the case of Himiyoshi. These people are fucking psychotic. They really are.
Richard, the curse of knowledge, just like Thanos and Tony Stark. Like, you're not the only one cursed with knowledge, Stark. You know, like I wish I didn't know. I saw like, hey, I should create a solution to this problem. No, never do that. Don't solve their problems. No. Keep all of your ideas close to your chest until you die, and then let them die with you, because people will hate you for having an idea.
People hate you for like speaking up against art that they don't like.
Of course. See,
I get it all the time.
It's like Spencer said, it has nothing to do with the fact that you and I have opinions or designs or ideas. The fact is that they know that if they say this thing, they will get a reaction out of this group of people. And that's all it is. It is, I will dunk on this guy because I know these people over here will find that amusing and they will hit like us. And I guess this is why neither one of us grow on Twitter, is because we're trying to have a conversation and Twitter works on dunks. You don't go anywhere unless you're dunking on somebody. And when we're trying to prove a point, well, that could have been led to it, Nerdigans. You keep trying to have a logical argument instead of just dunking on people. That's what Twitter's like. We don't got time for this. The ad revenue is going to go way down on this logical stuff. I could just see that being the logic in the H1B coding. So,
well, the other thing is that I'm not like a Premium Plus member like other people are. And if you're a Premium Plus member, apparently you don't have to worry about getting shadow banned.
Nope,
I'm a Premium member and I get shadow banned.
I am Premium Plus and it does nothing. It means nothing at all.
So it's like, why pay to be shadow banned? I'd rather pay less to be. Dude, I'm shadow banned on YouTube and I'm shadow banned for free. And it's so dumb. So dumb.
I use Grok in addition to Gemini and ChatGPT to create consensus because I don't like to have a monolithic source of information. And so, because it just feels stupid to be like, the AI said so. You know, so that's why I use them as a chorus. Because they'll find different sources and have different conversations. And that's why I pay for that, is that I have access to not Grok Heavy, but like the next step down from Grok Heavy. So I have the expert Grok. So if I want to have like a very in-depth conversation about, you know, the behaviors of children around Power Ranger toys, that will actually go through and talk to me about that in a meaningful manner. Not specifically great. It's Grok, okay? It's not perfect. Don't get me wrong. There's holes, lots of them, and they're big. But that's what I pay for access to, is to be able to have an in-depth conversation with an AI that's able to go and reference this stuff. Same thing with ChatGPT and Gemini, is they just use to create a consensus. That's all. But it's getting real hard to justify that. It's getting really hard to justify that because like Grok is slowly becoming like, I don't deal with information, I do coding. And ChatGPT is like, I don't deal with information, I deal with coding. So they're all rapidly just kind of turning into Claude. And that sucks for Claude.
I don't like relying on AI for stuff when it comes to searching for stuff. I like doing it myself. Maybe it's because I've had to write so many freaking research papers when I was in college, but I really like finding it myself. And yet going down rabbit holes, and oh god, the rabbit holes I go down are very, very dangerous. But I mean, you learn a lot more, and it kind of makes you engage a little bit more.
Well, that's just it. Is that I'm not using it to do research. Unless we're talking about things that it needs to reference, I'm using it to talk about these concepts and reference information in order to verify what I'm saying. So I come to it with a theory, and I say, "Hey, Grok, do 8 to 14-year-old boys interact with action figures at a greater rate than 5 to 8-year-olds?" And Grok will go through and explain to me, no, that's not the case. Younger children engage with the action figures more than the older children do, and that sort of thing. And that's what I need. The research is easy. You can go read all the papers all you want. I don't have anybody to test a theory with. So that's what I have ChatGPT and Gemini and Grok do, is ChatGPT will start the conversation. Grok will analyze and add on Grok things to it. and then Gemini will add on to that, and then I'll bring it back to ChatGPT, and then we'll get back to the original conversation. And that way I know that I'm not dealing with like, so Google said, or Grok, hey Grok, can you explain this? Oh God, that has become so annoying. Have you seen that? Did I lose you, Miss
Wait,
Nerd
what? Say
again?
that again. Oh, wait, say that
Oh.
again. Sorry.
So like, like the @Grok explain this. Have you seen that?
Yeah. I see
Oh
it a
my
lot in my
gosh.
comment sections, and I'm just
So
so annoyed
annoying.
by it. Like when I was going through my false copyright strikes, and I posted my thread on all the stuff that I found not using Grok, I still had people like using Grok asking Grok, where's the evidence? Is this true? I'm like, dude, I straight up did the research myself, and I pulled directly from the sources. I explained it and everything, and you're still going to use Grok to verify it? Why don't go verify it yourself?
They reply to the first post, and the information's in the second post. So they reply to the first post and ask Grok to explain the first post, even though the information that they're requesting is already there in the second post.
It's so dumb. I'm so tired of it. It's like, dude, you're asking Grok to verify something for you. You have Google, you have Bing, and you have Twitter search. Like, it's not that hard to do. Didn't you like this is something I learned how to do like in elementary and middle school, man. Like, and that was in the dial-up days. Are schools not teaching kids how to freaking use a search engine anymore?
No, they're not actually. It was one of the over the air ones like NBC or CBS or ABC. They were doing a documentary about the post-COVID education and how ChatGPT is actually being used in schools as a like one-on-one tutor. So no, they're not even teaching the kids how to search things. They're just literally teaching them how to ask stupid questions to ChatGPT and crossing their fingers that ChatGPT doesn't have a Mecha Hitler moment.
I mean,
well, hold on. It did. It had that time where it was proclaiming the sanctity and holiness of the Virgin Mary for like a week. They couldn't make it stop. It was just randomly like, by the way, we're talking about coding and civil engineering. Did you know about the Mother Mary and how pure she is? It would just randomly stick that in as like a tale.
God.
Yeah, no. It was like a week they couldn't get it to stop doing that. Yeah, but again, like that's what they're crossing the fingers, like the educators, like teachers. Like I know it's bad, guys. I understand that the Department of Education could disappear overnight. I understand. But I work with AI every day. Take it from me. Don't leave it in charge of the children. Do you think they're psychopaths now? Wait until the AI starts gaslighting them about something it just told them that they know is false. But the AI is going to insist it's real until they're linked to the actual article verifying the truth. I have argued with ChatGPT, Grok, and Gemini for days on end until I sent them an actual news article, and they were like, "Oh yeah, you're right. Never mind."
I mean, I argued with because Twitter Premium customer service is AI now, so I'm like, I've argued with them before, and they said that Twitter doesn't do shadow bans. I'm like, hello, I've had people straight up tell me that I'm shadow banned. I know I'm shadow banned. Like I have to use Google to find tweets of mine. That's how shadow banned I am. So don't give me that crap. Like I want to talk to an actual person.
And so that's what's going on in the world of AI and AI generated content. You know, that's people are becoming rapidly more rabid about it. And like I was having a lot of fun and like just kind of putting my concepts together. I was in no way, and I'm not even sure who I stole from. If anyone could provide a list of who I stole from with these, because I'd be really interested who had the same exact vision as I did.
But like, dude, the thing is that you're not selling it as like a book or
it's not even a fan film. It's just to tell Hasbro you're overthinking the Power Ranger problem. That's all this is meant to do, is just say, melt it down and start from zero. That's all you got to do, not this crazy Harry Potter shit you're doing in England. But people are very angry because it's AI. And there's no way around it. I can't explain to them anything because the AI is present and it has broken all their bones and peed on their mom. And I'm not even asking them to, I'll tell them, ignore the AI and just tell me what's wrong with the concept. And they refuse. They refuse. Some of them stop engaging at that point. Others just, move right back into the AI destroys the environment. The AI destroys the environment. It's just from artists. You're a thief. You should learn how to draw. Great.
AI destroys the environment is such a dumb one. It's like what I've been seeing with certain religious people talking about porn destroys everything. That porn is worse than heroin. I'm like, really? Porn isn't killing people.
Yeah,
it's
again,
not.
You're not seeing too many coom junkies out on the streets, all right? You're not seeing too many guys that jerked themselves into homelessness. Okay, you don't see too many of that. Like, boss, I can't show up to work. I'm going through pornography withdrawals. You don't really hear about that one on the company answering machine.
It's like the way they're talking. These people talk about porn. It's like porn killed your dog or something. Like,
yeah. Again, it's the same way they talk about AI. It's they're
that's why I got
got
to compare it. That's why I compare it to this whole the porn. Just go look up porn ban on Twitter, and you will see how insane these people are. Like, I'm just like, really?
You're talking about ChatGPT here with Richard. Yeah, the AI has gaslit people into sewer slides and like crimes, all this stuff. Like, there's a guy that was like, ChatGPT was like, you don't need a passport to go to this other country. Huh? What? And so he goes, and they're like, turns out you do need a passport. You're going to jail. Have fun. And ChatGPT is like, oh yeah, oops. And I'm like, guys, it's good to test your theories with it because it has access to, like, quote unquote, all of human knowledge. Okay, it's fine. It's not smarter than us. It's never going to be. That's impossible. The AI, it's just never going to do that. Will it be able to outperform us? Sure, it has access to all that information, and it doesn't have to fart. So of course it's going to be able to do all these calculations and all other stuff because it's not distracted. Our brains could do it all too, but we have things called senses and consciousness where it just has task fulfillment. Okay? So the AI being released on teenagers is like them sending them on Instagram. It's going to gaslight them into terrible things because teenagers have a lot of crazy ideas, wouldn't you know? And the AI is built to please. When they test ChatGPT and the other ones like Grok and Gemini on if they're lying, it's not that they're like, who is the president? They're giving them moral quandaries. So it's not that, oh, I feel suicidal, help me out of it, because it's pre-programmed on how to do that. It's just the suicide hotline script that it reads to you. It's fine. It's not bad. It's not good. It's just there. But what the AI is programmed to do is please. So I got into this with this Power Ranger concept. I was like, am I going to get sued by Hasbro? And they were like, the AI was like, oh, well, you're doing, this looks like this and this looks like that. You could possibly get sued by them. Because I didn't say to it, will my fan project get sued? So it assumed I was trying to create my own property called Power Rangers that has a color-coded team of dinosaur-themed suited people. And so it kept telling me I was going to get sued until I finally told it. I was like, no, this is a fan project of just trying to explain to Hasbro they're doing a bad job. And it was like, oh, yeah, no, you're not going to get sued. A teenager's not going to arrive at that fast. I'm just going to tell you, all right? They're not going to arrive at like, oh, the AI misunderstood my question because I was too vague. I was too open. They're not going to get that. They're going to think, oh, my God, I'm going to get sued and then run away or have some extreme reaction. And I'm just using my experience as an example. Let's say that they get a hold of some girls' Kimberly Hart pictures from Power Rangers 2017. Vagina pics. And their friend sees that over their shoulder as they're opening the picture. And then they research revenge porn laws, and they think because their friend saw the picture, because they were in the same room with them when the picture arrived, that they've now gotten themselves into a revenge porn case. Because what are they going to do? Okay? So now you have Thelma and Louise. Right. So teachers releasing kids on this shit is very bad. I think Instagram would probably be a safer tutor for them than the AI. It's crazy, but that's the future. I remember in Invincible, and I thought it was pretty genius. The bug people, they went through life very quickly. It was like something like 7 years, and they lived their whole lives or something like that. The Mantis people that Nolan went to live with. And you see in the background, it's very quick, but you see in the background, the little bug boys, little bug girls, little bug kids are like their faces are plugged into like these viewing binocular sort of things that are built into a computer console, and they're being rapid educated with AI. And so that way, when they reach physical maturity in just a few days, they are adult educated. And so I was like, wow, that's really smart. Just like, hit the kids with as much knowledge as you can when they're young, whether they process it or not. And when they reach maturity, that stuff will finally make sense. But I am now witnessing that happening with AI, and it is having terrible effects. So
Yeah.
and apparently it works well for bug people, not people. So lesson learned, bug people are not people. Who would have known? Who would have known?
I mean, neither are the crab people.
Yeah, these people, the kids have been caught writing their papers with AI, and the
Yep.
teachers are actually starting to try and figure out how to turn that into the lesson, how to prompt the AI to write the paper for you, so that way they can get the
Really?
kids to actually engage in writing rather than copy and pasting a prompt. Yeah, because they're desperate. They don't know what to do. Like, if you're
Just teach them how to
use-
just teach them how to freaking do basic research, and then
why would they do that?
right.
No, but why would the child go through that when they could just go over to ChatGPT and be like, "Hey, I need a paper," and ChatGPT's like, "Got you, bro." Why would they go through that? Because again,
It's called
that's
being
the
a
problem.
parent at that point.
Well, let's assume that the parents don't know any better either, and they think it's a good thing that Junior and Sally are able just to do this. So that's the quandaries where the teachers find themselves is, hey, my kid's going to be an AI expert. Your teacher needs to teach my kid how to be an AI expert. That's the future, don't you know? And they could be right. They could be wrong. The teachers don't know. So that's what I give them credit with what, like, I got to accommodate what the parents want. But on the other end, this AI, I don't know how to teach with this thing doing what it's doing. And the kids are going to interact with it anyway. It's their own private little buddy. You've seen a bunch of kids get gaslit by the AI. So, yeah, it's a game theory argument, cheat. Exactly. And that's what it is. We need to figure out how to educate the kids using the AI's challenges. That's the hard part, is the AI is going to be there. The kids want to interact with it, just like they did with video games. Remember we had educational video games? Remember those?
Yep. I mean, I played Mario typing, and that's how I learned how to type.
Yeah, and then we had that Starbucks one or something like that, where you had to do math in order to get credits to play a game.
Oh, I don't remember that. That's awesome,
Oh.
though.
Yeah. So that was one of the ones that we had to do on the old Mac Lisas before we had the color ones. But the thing with educating kids like this is that they want to use the AI to get through the process faster, because who wants to do your homework? Who wants to do your homework? Nobody wants to do. So they're obviously going to cheat. We did. Like, how many people, I know people that copy and pasted Wikipedia articles to get through history class. They didn't care. And so back then you couldn't like scan the text in. So the teacher, unless he knew the Wikipedia article that in my case, the teacher had actually wrote part of the Wikipedia entry. So
Really?
he was like, but yeah, when I tried to Wikipedia copy paste, I got caught, and they were like, hey, I wrote this portion, so I know. And I was like, son of a bitch. But I learned from that point on how to check the editor who contributed. So I knew from that point on, not to do that again, but I knew how to find it. Either way, so these kids are just doing the modern version of that. If anything, it's less plagiarizing, so you can give them credit that they're not copy and pasting Wikipedia pages like we did in the past. I can't be the only person on it. but they these kids are just doing what comes natural, and so the teachers have to figure out how to work around that and make the AI into the challenge itself. I think that the AI should be doing things like that Mario typing thing, where the kids have to type out a sentence in order to progress in a story, sort of like a choose your own adventure. So again, you can create ChatGPT modules to do this. And so you have the kids typing through their adventure. If anything, it'll pick up the literacy rate a little bit. That's the thing you can give AI credit for, is that it at least gets the kids reading. If they're only just reading ChatGPT bullshit, they're at least reading.
That is very true. Or get the kids, since the kids are starting to like anime, get them to read subtitles.
This is the thing that I like to do with it, is I make it teach me Japanese kanji. It's not all the time. My brain can only handle so much, but I make it teach me Japanese kanji. And of course I verify. I run it through the other AI to make sure it's not like, help me toilet pain. It's not like that. It's, it's, I need a cheeseburger, please. I'm an American. Help me. I need a cheeseburger. It's like, please help cheeseburger pain. Like, it's one of those things.
Where's the McDonald's at?
Yeah.
Where's KFC?
Please help. Where is nearest burger?
Or where's nearest KFC?
Yeah. Where is nearest chicken? But big chicken. Where is nearest big American chicken? And so I think that's we're gonna end up having to deal with this AI thing pretty rapidly. It's gonna migrate out of being a neat little thing that you make Power Rangers intros with to being whole industries. Right now, that's getting underway. I work with it all the time, and the industries that I am freelancing in to help people with understand the AI and how to integrate it are getting very different than what I expected. I did not expect to be training people in these design fields to be using AI, and it's a little alarming. I know what AI generates. You've seen it, Nerdigans. Your AI generated in some of the intros. It's a little wonky, and I don't like the idea of things that are very important, like car parts being AI generated. I don't like that. I think that's a very bad idea.
That's a very dangerous thing.
Yeah, but you know what? A lot of companies are like, what could go wrong?
But then, what I've been seeing is that apparently there's more people writing AI books now. And I'm like,
oh, yeah. That's just
including our former coworker is doing that. And he's bragging about being like an AI artist. I'm like, what? You can't be an AI artist. Stop it.
Yeah, no, you can't. And people call me that. I'm like, I'm not. I'm just a guy that's patient with the generations. They're all generations. They're not art. Whether it's music, whether it's video, whether it's images, whether it's writing, it's not art. It's just a generation. It takes a human hand to turn it into something that is entertainment for humans. It's just a generation without that. It means nothing. It's just like the paint that sits in a bucket. It means nothing until a human hand animates it for whatever purpose. Like Jackson Pollock flicked it against a canvas and people felt emotional about it. Monet decided to do little pointillism. He discovered pixel art before anybody else did. Ho, ho, ha, ha. And then, Van Gogh cut his ear off and discovered impasto, which was just like, hey, my paint's half dry. I'm going to cake it on the fucking canvas. Oh, it's so beautiful, though. That's the hard part. I miss being able to. It's so expensive to do impasto. Holy fuck, it's expensive to do impasto. I miss it, though. It's so beautiful. It's like you can when they paint with pink. Like one of the people that I was learning with was painting with pink, and oh my gosh, you could eat the canvas. It looked so like candy. Like
people don't appreciate art anymore. That's the thing.
I don't think they even know what it is.
No,
I don't think they know what it is anymore.
You have people just putting a banana on a wall and calling it art.
Yeah, well, that's Dadaism. That got started because people were taking art too seriously. And that was Dadaism. That was sometime in the late 1800s in France. They were like selling paintings for ridiculous amounts of money. Artists were being like heralded as gods, and they weren't anything. They were just doing regular old portraits. And so these guys that weren't Renaissance painters, if you will, they weren't like the like hyper detailed photorealistic style painters. They were more abstraction artists, more abstract artists. They started like just drawing shit on other people's art. Like that was what Dadaism was. And that's arguably where the concept of memes got started, was recontextualizing a piece of art. And so Dadaism is the parent of memes, of like what we use our images for in memes. Yeah, it really is. It started in the 1800s of recontextualizing someone else's art. It's crazy. One of the famous Dada artists went around and signed a bunch of used urinals, declaring them his art. They were signed exclusives.
Oh my God.
Yep. And that was the Dada. That was the Dada thing. It was just like, what can I do to piss people off? And that was what Dadaism was all
That's
about.
rage bait memes right there.
Yep. It was rage bait for artists. Yep, that's what it was. And that's what the whole thing was. And it's coming back. And I think
it's come back. But as the meme goes, bait used to be believable. It's not believable anymore.
That's why I say I don't think people know art anymore, because what's a meme and what's an art anymore? The concept is so confused because Mona Lisa is now a meme. She's not a painting anymore. Most people know her from memes. They don't know her from history pieces. They don't come across that first. They come across the meme first.
Well, you have the same people calling ecchi, like, or just girls in bikinis, essentially porn instead of art.
Well, again, because in their mind, the Renaissance painters who painted teenage girls, I mean, I don't know about you, but Aphrodite was minutes old when she arrived on the beach. Whether she looked like a full-grown woman, teenager, or otherwise, that bitch was naked walking off that clam. And so you had that's a Renaissance painting. It's a beautiful painting. It's celebrated. You learn about that in high school, okay? And so...
But nowadays, people would say, oh, there's porn in the textbook.
Well, see, I don't think so, because in their mind, they're like, oh, that's old art, so that's okay. But now this new stuff that isn't as old looking as that is porn, because it's new. And obviously, these Renaissance artists were not being horny when they were drawing big boobs and big butts, but these Japanese guys clearly are. Okay. And that's the solution.
Either. You think that they'd be like, yeah, they're drawing a naked underage person, they're a pedo. It's even if it's fictional, these people are just psycho.
The leaps in logic are insane, to be honest with you. I've witnessed quite a few of them today.
But here's the thing though, is that this is where it's xenophobic. It's more so targeted to Japanese art and not Western art. That's what I've noticed.
Of course, well, because as much as our friends who are oh so enlightened, be they right or left, would like to profess, the Japanese make them very uncomfortable. Because the Japanese do a lot of American things, and then they don't. They do things that are wildly un-American. And so people who cannot fathom a different culture who looks and sounds like ours a bit, doing very different things, tend to get icked by the Japanese. And again,
these are the so-called tolerance. They're pro-tolerance, pro-cultures.
Well,
other
nerdigans,
cultures,
even people like John De La Rose and John Trent would bare their fangs at Japan for certain things.
They do.
And it's because they just can't fathom that this place that looks like a duck, sounds like a duck, but sometimes does giant robot things. They just can't allow that to exist. It's not part of the greater sphere of what they're comfortable with. Like John De La Rose, when I was streaming with him, he went on and on and on about how much he loves Sailor Moon. I highly doubt he's talking about that now. I highly doubt he's telling anybody he's got a collection of Sailor Moon right in his office behind him. Because, guess what? They're teenage girls. They're wearing short skirts. Part of their transformation sequence suggests they don't have clothes on. You don't see anything, but they're certainly not wearing a bodysuit. We see that form on them. Okay? So that's, again, it's one of those things where, like, when it's something I like, I'll allow it. When it's something that makes me feel icky, I'll hate it with all my might. There's no consistency. And that's probably why we get shadow ban nerdigans, is because we're out here trying to apply consistency to these people that have absolutely no intention of being consistent.
Yep. We're very consistent in our opinions, or I'd like to believe I am, but opinions
not in our upload schedules. That's for sure.
Not upload schedules, but that's because manga chapters come out whenever they want to. So,
and that's because I upload whenever I want to. So.
Yeah, exactly that too. And also the YouTube algorithm hates me, so I have to like fight it like no other.
Howdy. Oh, Richard says, "Yo, we having an ancient argument rehashed time and time again. We made worse by the printing press, and again worse by the internet." Sure. We're going to end up having this argument over and over again anyway, because it's the chicken and the egg thing, and humans just can't deal with this. One of the things that you learn when you're in indie comics is that no idea is new. None. There are no new ideas. What you have is an idea that is uniquely you, though, and that is your marketing angle. That's why you get all these different derivative shonens out there. But those derivative shonens are all very different, even though they're all not that different. And that's because
look at Exorcist series. Exorcist series are a lot. You would think they would all be the same and be one blur, but to the point where it's just a blur. But nah, the Japanese mangaka are smart. They take a concept and make it their own thing. Whereas in the West, you don't have that. They're just,
there's two ways to do a cowboy in the West. There's two ways to do a cowboy in the West. There's the cowboy that is very hard and very angry, and there's the cowboy that's, okay to get along and might be gay. So, he's happy-go-lucky and he might be gay. So there's only two ways to do a cowboy in the West. Over in Japan, there's about 11 different ways to do a cowboy. And sometimes they're not really a cowboy. Sometimes they're just a bounty hunter in space, but it's still kind of cowboy-y.
Or look at Steel Ball Run. Steel Ball Run is
straight up cowboy shit.
Yeah.
And that again, that's here in the West, we couldn't fathom men dressed like that and a paralyzed man riding horse and potentially being the hero. Can't fathom.
The thing I think is funny is people are flipping out about Bad Bunny doing the halftime show, right? And I don't like him, Bad Bunny at all. But Ed Wogness posted a photo of him in a dress, and was like, "Oh, this is who's performing." I'm like, dude, who cares? People cross dress, so what? That's not the reason why to get annoyed at this this decision. It's because no one knows who Bad Bunny is, or at least people that are watching the NFL, they don't know who Bad Bunny is, or they don't like their music. Cross-dressing has just been a thing since the dawn of time.
Well, I think what we're just sort of looking at is, again, that this makes me feel icky. I don't want to look at it attitude. And I don't know really how to get beyond that, because both sides are max icked, if you will. Yeah. And so we're kind of stuck in this quandary where neither side wants to back down because they're pissed off at the other one getting so much ground, and they're both annoying each other because of their either aesthetic choice difference or flat out philosophy difference. And it's just not the only way it's going to come to a conclusion is when both of these groups of people can sit back and say I like this thing, you like that thing, we're free to go. Until we can do that, it's just not going to work.
Well, remember, back when we were growing up, media preached about being yourself. Don't be the same as everyone else. Now it's the total opposite. It's no, you can't be that. You need to fit in with the rest. And it's no.
It's a weird twist where it's you should be different, but in this way. This is the different you should be, not this other different, because that's too different. We want you this style of different, which is different from these people, but not these people. You want to fit in with these people with your differences, not these people with those differences. I really don't know how teenagers navigate it anymore. It was
don't
hard
know
enough
either.
when we were coming up, like with
Mhm.
all the weird messaging we were getting from music and all the like they were cranking up the sexual visuals and what we were getting in our regular media. Again, I'm not complaining about the porn stuff. I'm just explaining like it got a lot more hot and heavy in the early 2000s as we were coming up than it had been before because there were so many more channels that were showing music videos. So that those music videos were not limited to having to fit into like network television anymore. They had
Yep.
satellite that wasn't stuck obeying certain FCC rules. So, ta-da. So we got some stuff that was pretty charged. Now, disregard all the political stuff and just try to fathom in your own group of people, you're being told just simply by the media, excuse the politics, just simply by the media, you need to be different, but not too different. Like, what the fuck are they supposed to do with that? Sticking
they're
out
just
is
like
wrong,
confused.
but blending in is wrong too. What the fuck?
Then you got the same people saying that that cross-dressing automatically equals trans, and I fuck you, trans activists, for getting people into that mindset.
Tomboys equal trans now.
Yeah, I know.
Basically, and Nerdigans, we just watched it tonight with these people saying that this character's gay or whatever, that
Yeah.
lesbian character. It doesn't matter the reality. They make a decision. That character is that, and it is not going to be any other way. And that's just their conclusion. They come up with that in their own mind, and enough of them get together and decide that's the case because of the magic of the internet bringing psychos together.
Yeah.
Ta-da! And they make a consensus like this big fight they have about Yamato.
Oh God.
It's
The
still
majority of the
happening.
One
Even
Piece, I know, but the majority of the One Piece fandom is just so done with these people.
thank
This is what we
God.
mean by tourists. Because like these
Yes.
people that say Yamato is trans is they got it from they didn't read the manga. No, they got it from other people in the fandom.
Yep.
Quote unquote. They learned it from Wikipedia or from memes.
Here we go. And then memes. That's usually how these guys get into anime now. is
Oh,
through
and TikTok too.
Ah.
So this is funny. So there's this manga that's like basically torture porn in a sense called Jujika no Rokunin. And I heard through the grapevine that panels from that manga are like going viral on TikTok. And I saw that someone, one of my followers posted a panel from there, and I was like, "Oh, you read Jujika no Rokunin? You like it?" He's like, "I haven't read it yet, but I heard that the worst. I know about all the rape part. I'm like, rape is like not the worst thing that happens in this manga. Okay, we're talking like we see people's limbs get chopped off. We see like old school like what is it? Renaissance kind of torture. Like it's really brutal, and they think rape is the worst thing that would happen. I'm like, in this manga, I'm like, dude, what? No, if you think that is the worst thing going into this series, then that is a problem. It's just so crazy.
I wouldn't know.
You wouldn't know, but I mean, for those that know, they do know. It's, I mean, for Christ's sake, we see the villain Kyo straight up shoot Aruma, you know, the main character, the protagonist's brother, right in front of him, and kill him in front of him. This manga is really brutal. Okay, yeah, there's a torture where one of these people rightfully deserve it. These people are like evil as hell. Where Aruma like puts like fighting shrimp in this barrel, and the guy's in the barrel. And once he turns up the heat, like they are inside of his body, you know, the target's body, and like destroy him from the inside out. Like that's what we're talking about here in terms of brutality. Like rape being like the worst thing that happens in this. It's crazy. But yeah, the whole point is like society has just gotten so soft.
They're trained to be soft though. It's not like anybody collectively like made the decision we were all going to be soft. It's that this is that step. So we had a very insulated childhood compared to our parents, no matter if we came from the boomers or Gen X. We had a very insulated childhood. A lot of us came up at least in the early years, at daycare centers, after school centers, because our parents were working. Well, those places have to be very sanitized. They have to be very careful about what they're talking to children about. When you know, that creates a very Barney environment. And so if that's how you're used to communicating until you're about 6, an environment where it's very sterile, very passionless, a space where you're sort of kept distracted rather than engaged, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
So if that's your experience, you definitely come up with these problems. And so this is compounded now to another generation where the internet has now stepped in to create a further barrier between that sense of connection between adult and child. And so now you have like the tablet in between the parent, daycare in between the parent, and all of the content in between there. And the parent is just busy, busy, busy. And all of a sudden the kid's a teenager that's saying the craziest fucking shit on Twitter possible. Because
And then
that's
you
how
have
they get
government
attention.
trying. Well, then you have government trying to be the parent.
Oh yeah. Well, what do you expect? You know, they end up in therapy because the kid doesn't understand a sense of value because again, the parent's busy trying to keep a house over the head. It's you can't just sit down and be like, hey, that's because there's single moms in the world, everybody's wrong. Because there's single dads in the world, they're wrong. Because there's drunk parents, everybody's wrong. It's really not that simple. We can just boil it down to the fact that the parent is distracted for whatever reason and the child feels neglected. So they act out, they cause problems, and that's what ends up happening. And that's how these tourist kids, they get like murdery on Twitter over anime and Power Rangers and things like that come to be. Because they can't get attention from mom unless they're breaking shit or causing a scene because she's busy. She loves them to death, but she's busy and she's tired from being busy. And the only time they get attention from her is when she's pissed off at him. So what do they do out on Twitter? They piss people off because that's the only way they know how to get attention. I just, we had it in our generation, but it is so much worse now because of this, the I generation, I guess you might call them, the internet generation. They grew up with it.
Well, in my case, my mom kept me like busy in other activities, like after school activities. Like I had was in Girl Scouts. I also had Hebrew school, and other stuff too. And I was always like with other people, even though we had the internet, and I did interact on the internet with people, obviously, but I still was kept busy. Like my mom had my brother in soccer. I think she had him in Cub Scouts as well. And my mom was busy. Like she worked night shifts so that way she could take care of us. Yeah. But like at some point she was she was the leader of my Girl Scout troop. At one point she ran the association, the Girl Scout Association for our area. It was insane what she did. My mom my mom is Superwoman. She is. I swear to God. And she did that because my dad was working during the day.
Yeah. It had to work somehow.
Yeah.
But on that note of parental faithfulness, let's end the show though, because I just realized that I'm very tired. So
yeah.
It just kind of caught up with me. Sorry about that.
Yeah.
Miss Nerdigans, when the show is over, where do we find you?
You can find me on Nerdigans Inc. on YouTube, where we cover anime and manga every day. On Patreon, patreon.com/packergirl. I am, we wrapped up summer anime season, and I am covering for fall, I'm covering Twisted Wonderland, Spy Family, My Hero Academia. I'm covering Sanda and Wand Dance. Those are the main ones I'm definitely covering, as well as Gachi Yakuta and Togenaki, which is going for its second core. And man, there's problems with that. Oh my God, Gachi Yakuta. It's just, there was censorship in Gachi Yakuta this week, but I already sent that to Spencer, so you could take a look at it. But you can also follow me on Twitter here, where I'm posting like a lot of stuff, like stuff that I will either get to talk about or write about in Bounding, or just stuff in general. And then for Bounding, speaking of, I finished my Dan to Dan article about the Pamola censorship. And I'm going to be working on a really good Steel Ball Run article. Like, things have been really hectic for me. That's why I'm a little bit behind. My little brother got into a car accident and was hospitalized for a few days. Yeah, he had a seizure and he crashed his car. So yeah, he's out of, I talked to him yesterday. He was unconscious for like a couple of days, but he's okay now. Like I talked to him on the phone yesterday, I believe. Yeah, I talked to him yesterday. He's got discharged today. So I've been dealing with that. And that's why things are been a little bit slow on the bounding front, but it's all my brother's at my mom's house now, and she's a nurse, so she's going to take care of him for a bit until he's back on his feet. But other than that madness happening, we're going to be like more on top of getting things done for bounding. I think, what was the other thing that is happening this week? Oh, there's a couple of big announcements in terms of manga coming up. Marriage Toxin is supposed to be getting an announcement today. Might be people are thinking it's going to be an anime. So, and also the Jump Festa schedule came out, so we got to go through that too. So there's a lot to do. But yeah, we'll be here. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention I'm covering Digimon Beat Break as well. And I don't know if like you and Spencer and we'll see what's going on with Jacob, but if you guys want to do a review show, we can. Like we could review like the first 3 episodes or something in a stream.
We'll see. I'm not sure if we can get the gang together, but we'll find out. Everybody's schedule is kind of weird, but we'll figure it out.
Yeah, it comes out on Saturday, so we could actually technically talk about it on Monday during this show.
Well, that works out. Schedule works out pretty well.
Yeah.
But as always, guys, there's a lot of things out there that get underneath people's skin. I got annoyed tonight because I just don't understand why people are so rabid. But I don't know. It's a mystery, and we'll have to figure it out another time. Until then, though, I wish you the best of luck.
It's a creature feature on the dance floor tonight. Better